York standout wide receiver Marcus Walker, now at Michigan with a touchdown grab. He did it early, but it was a New Jersey MVP, Eric McCool, now at Penn State, that took over in the second half, leading New Jersey to a 36-20 win.
Here's the run up the middle. Doesn't matter because it's a touchdown. Eric McCool.
Last year, New York once again jumps out early. 15-0 in the second quarter. This 50-yard touchdown grab by Willie Poole, now at Boston College. But again, it was all New Jersey after that. The Garden Staters win it 26-15.
Setting up a screen. It's intercepted. Picked off and running for the touchdown by Sean Price.
Get ready for the 2000 edition. New York against New Jersey. New Jersey looks for the three-peat.
Well, we expect to go in there and basically destroy New York and, you know, destroy their confidence that they have right now.
New York got their butt kicks 2 years in a row, so hopefully we can win this one. I know we're the better team, to be honest with you. There's so many great players on this team.
As far as being the underdogs, I wouldn't see it as being a big underdog because we have just as much talent as New Jersey that they just overlook us like this.
And that's what we all here in New Jersey doing. We all soldiers in New Jersey. We about to go to war with New York. That's what we about to do.
The site for the Governor's Ball couldn't be any more beautiful. The banks of the Hudson River, where a great deal of football history has been written. The likes of Davis, Blanchard, Colonel Red Blake, the Lonesome Men, and a great deal of American history. Eisenhower, Patton, Grant Lee. This is West Point, New York, home of the United States Military Academy, and it's the New Jersey All-Stars against the New York All-Stars. And welcome to West Point, New York, in a beautiful setting indeed. Spencer Ross along with Mike Quick. Gene Golder will be patrolling the sidelines for this, the third annual Governor's Cup. We've got a lot of talented kids here from both these states, New York and New Jersey. And New Jersey's won the first two, Mike Quick. But let's start first with the New York kids. And you have to start with Sam the Man, because this kid is something special.
Well, Spence, he's sensational. He's the marquee man for the state of New York, a state that has 43 players in this game. 17 are going to Division I schools. Sammy Maldonado is one of those guys, and he's a big back, kind of like Eddie George, who played for Ohio State. 6'2", 220 pounds, has sensational feet, runaway ability, and he has great vision. What this kid did this year alone, guys wish they could do in a 4-year varsity career. His career, Spence, was unbelievable. Let's take a look at what smoking Sammy Maldonado has done these last 4 years.
And over the 4 years, over 7,500 yards rushing, but just this season alone, more than 3,200 yards. And take a look at that, more than 3 dozen touchdowns. That's in a dozen games, many of them that were runaways, and many of them where he didn't play much of the second half. Now, when Smoking Sammy is on the sidelines, it is not bad when you go with Trevor Demme, who played at Sleepy Hollow High School. He is so fast. If Ichabod Crane had his speed, he would have gotten away from the Headless Horseman.
Oh, no question about it, and he does. Trevor plays for the Sleepy Hollow Headless Horseman, and he's put a lot of kinks in people's necks through the years. He's Barry Sanders-esque, 5'7", 180 pounds, 2 of the biggest calves you'll ever see, and look at him go. This is a kid this year ran for over 1,400 yards and 26 touchdowns. A nice compliment to Sammy Maldonado. Now, this New York offense, this New Jersey offense is potent. That's why you need guys like Big Doug Goodwin. He's a game changer, played at Holy Trinity High School out in Hicksville, Long Island. 6'3", 280 pounds, going to Boston College next year, was sensational a week ago in Boomer Esiason's Outback Steakhouse Empire Challenge. Doug Goodwin, a name to remember, a name New York is going to need if they're going to play with New Jersey in this game.
And if they want to play with New Jersey, the man they have to stop is from Hoboken High School. His name is Tyrell Dortch, and he'd only lost 1 game in his entire high school career. He has speed, he has talent, a great deal of ability, and pretty good size.
Well, again, you talk about New Jersey high school football. One program you talk about all the time is the Hoboken Red Wings. Ed Stinson does a sensational job there year in and year out. always producing Division I football players. Of all the guys he's had in his great run the last 5 or 6 years, I think Tyrell Dortch is the best. Spectacular. Led Hudson County this year over 2,600 yards. That's an all-time Hudson County record. 33 touchdowns. Put on an absolute clinic in the state championship game against Wayne Hills High School in a 27-7 win. He had 4 touchdowns, 288 yards. Now, Spencer, maybe the best athlete in this game, played for one of the smaller schools in the state, Grant Adams from Glen Rock High School. It's a Group 1 school, but this kid's got Group 4 skills. He's headed off to Boston College next year. He's gazelle-like. The feet hardly touch the ground. Today, you will see him playing offense, defense, and if New Jersey guys are smart, they'll have him returning punts. He had 10 specialty touchdowns in his 4-year varsity career for Alan Dietz' team.
And we talk about tradition. We talked about the West Point tradition. How about the Notre Dame tradition? Johnny Lujack, Paul Horning, Joe Montana, Joe Theismann, Angelo Bertelli, who happens to be a New Jersey guy, and Matt Lovecchio, who played his high school ball at Bergen Catholic from Franklin Lakes, where he happens to work out with a fellow named Phil Sims quite often, is gone to Notre Dame, and they're going to know what's happening in South Bend when this kid gets there.
Well, South Bend could use a quarterback like Matt now. Get out of that option stuff and get a guy back there and stand in the pocket. 6'2", 195 pounds. Plain and simple, he's a winner. He quarterbacked the Bergen Catholic powerhouse for the last 2 years. 22-1 as a junior, threw for 29 touchdowns. This year, threw for 17 touchdowns, over 1,500 yards, completed 57.2% of his passes. Matt Lovecchio, the headliner, that will go under center today here at West Point.
And New Jersey, 33 of the 46 youngsters playing in this game are on their way to Division I school. It is New Jersey against New York. It is the 3rd annual Governor's Ball. Get set for the opening kickoff when we return to Mikey Stadium, Blake Field, right after these messages. New York, as we get set for the opening kickoff in this, the 3rd annual Governor's Bowl. A few moments ago, the Honorable Governor of the state of New York, George Pataki, tossing the coin, and the toss won, and New Jersey will elect to receive here in the first half. And right now, let's head down to the sidelines and check in with Gene Golden.
Okay, Spencer, 2 Governor's Bowls in the books. New Jersey, 2 wins, and the guy responsible for making sure that doesn't happen again is Joe Casarella from North Rockland High School. He's the head coach of New York this year. Big favorites on New Jersey's side. 33 players going to Division I schools as compared to 17 from New York. What is the attitude like on the New York sideline?
Well, I think that's why we're playing in the United States Military Academy. It's a place of heroes, and hopefully we can create some heroes today. Kids have great attitudes. It's a football game. Anything could happen. Kids have been great for the 5 days I had them. The biggest mismatch is in the skill positions where the wideouts, they got kids going to big-time schools, and our kids are going to some of the smaller schools. But we'll do our best.
Good luck in this one. This year, the game's in New York as compared to Rutgers, New Jersey's home turf. So let's see what's going to happen in this one. Back to you, Spence.
We are set for the opening kickoff. It is teed up, and the young man teeing it up for New York State is Sandro De Angelis, who lives in Canada, went to high school across the border in the state of New York, and he's on his way to play college football at the University of Nebraska. So there he is, number 1, Sandro De Angelis. Back deep on the left side of your screen, Corey Brown, who played at Trenton High, number 37, and number 31, Tyshawn Jackson. Jackson from Piscataway High School, and we're set for the opening kickoff.
Spence Jackson's electrifying this year for Piscataway High School. He had our run of the year in the Tri-State, so Sandro better keep it away from Mr. Jackson.
And here's the opening kickoff, nice end over end, and it is taken by Jackson. And Jackson up to the 23-24-yard line before he is taken down on the play. Number 21, David Snyder out of Brewster High School, who will be going to the University of Syracuse, not to play football. This might be his last football game. He's on his way to be a lacrosse star, a full scholarship in lacrosse.
Well, he's already that, a 2-time All-American out of Brewster High School, and what a winner. 37-6 over his 4-year varsity career, quarterbacked every game. And there's a pretty fair quarterback in his own right. Matt Lovecchio headed off to Notre Dame next year.
6'3", 200 pounds. Mike Carr will be his fullback, and watch number 34, Tyrell Dortch. He will be the key running back. The lineup brought to you by Clareton, the New Jersey lineup, as we check out the entire offense. Rob Dinsmore, Rob Petiti, Brian Markowski, the center, and they start a reverse to open up the football game as Dortch hands the ball off down the left side, and a nice move right there by Isaac Irby, who played his high school ball at Holy Cross, and he's on his way to the University of West Virginia. A little razzle-dazzle right off the get-go.
Well, that's what Fred Stengel does. He just puts it out there and he says, we're coming out, we're going to have fun, run some reverse. Everybody keys on Dortch, but what I loved about the play is when Irby comes back around the corner, there's Lovecchio out there throwing the corner block to get Irby out there.
And the New York defense brought to you by Mercedes. Matt Tarullo, Rich Retigliano, Jarrell Carroll, William Smith, Brandon Bell, the linebackers along with Edie Lobo. And on second down, here's Lovecchio. He's looking deep. He's got a man downfield. It's Irby taking it down inside the 15-yard line and taken down at the 15-yard line. Lovecchio just unloaded the football. And down there hauling it in for the New Jersey All-Star, Jared Jones. And we got a 1st and 10 down at the 14-yard line.
Well, Jared Jones is a kid at Hillsborough High School who began his career for 2 years at quarterback. He's a 4-year starter. The last 2 years he played quarterback, began his career as a wide receiver. And I'll tell you one thing Matty can do is he can keep it tight. And there's Jones turning around. That should have been a fumble, though. That's the one thing New York is worried about. They feel their defensive backs and corners can't match up with the wideouts for New Jersey.
Puts it up in the air beautifully. And it's 1st and 10 down at the 14-yard line.
You know, talking to Art Trollo, the Harrison coach, the defensive coordinator for the state of New York, one thing he was telling us was he told his guys, look, they have big-time talent at the wideout position. Try to keep the guys in front of you. I'd rather you give up a 30 or a 35-yard play than a 70 or 75-yard play. That time you saw Jones get behind DeVerne, and if he just spun it around a little bit, that would have been a touchdown. But New Jersey catches a break. That was a fumble.
Tyrell Dortch is the lone setback, and he gets his first carry. Big hole inside the 10, and a nice tackle. Taken down, the ball's fumbled away as he was hit by Dave Snyder. And I believe New Jersey has it back. Well, Snyder told us this might be his last football. He can play the game.
He can play the game. DeVerne coming up there from the corner. Just a great form tackle. Stays low on Dortch. Now you're going to see from the right corner position. Watch 29 come into your frame. He just fills. Oh, and that's a good job. That's a good hit, and then Dortch gets right back on it. But DeVerne, not that big, 5'9", 195 pounds, played quarterback for Canandaigua, who beat Brewster in the state championship this year, the Class A state championship. So that's a quarterback who's taken out some punishment.
So it's a 2nd down and 5 now from the 9. Again, handoff goes straight up the middle to Tyrell Dortch, and Dortch gets down to the 5. Going to be a little shy of the 1st down. Lobo into the stop. Edie Lobo out of Suffolk County, New York. Brentwood High School. As we look at Dortch, what a career. On his way to Michigan State, 53 career touchdowns.
Just 17 years old. That's the scary thing. Spence won't turn 18 till November 18. So if this kid's not a redshirt player, he'll play 6 or 7 games as a 17-year-old, just like Penn State's Eric McCoo did. The MVP of this game 2 years ago played his first game at Penn State as a 17-year-old.
So it is now 3rd down, less than a yard. And we get a flag in the play.
You can't pick the ball up.
And it looks like it's going to go against New Jersey.
Procedure. Offense.
Procedure against the offense. So instead of 3rd and about 1, it is 3rd now and 6 yards to go as the ball will be moved back to the 11-yard line, to the 10-yard line. Number 51, Jeff Gaston. We look at the sidelines, the New York youngsters. Number 12, Cedric Stevens from Corcoran High School. Lovecchio, plenty of time, and it's complete to Dortch, but then knocked away. Well, Dortch had the ball, but had it knocked away. And we'll wind up with a 4th down situation right here. 4th down and about 6 for the New Jersey All-Stars, who, remember, fell behind early in this game the first 2 years, and they're looking to get out quick.
Yeah, here they are in the spread formation. Grant Adams should have had it. The corners came up, but Grant will bring that ball in 9 times out of 10. The talented two-way, three-way, four-way guy out of Glen Rock High School.
Adams, who said we'll see him on defense, we'll see him on offense. Looking toward the end zone. He's got a first down. Down at the 3-yard line. Vecchio looked, found some time, and found the man inside the 5-yard line. That'll be enough for a first down. And once again on the reception, it's Grant Adams.
Well, Grant's a quick learner. You don't get 1,310 on your SAT and come back and be smart. He goes, I'm going to look it in. Does a good job here. Just a talented guy. Broke all the career receiving records for Glen Rock High School. And a good job by Matt, squaring up right at the end. And look at the zip. And a nice job by Adams. As Matt was taken out of the pocket, he runs with him, gives him a target. So a good job. We thought that New Jersey would come out, put it in the air. One thing to remember big, the offensive coordinator for New Jersey is Fred Stengel. That's Matt Lavecchio's high school coach. He was very pleased with the way Matt threw the ball this week. And here's when you hear Freddie Stengel talking to his quarterback.
All right, what yard line are we on? Okay, good. Come here. Everybody come in here. All right, now. I'm trying. Where is Jared? Where's Jared? Jared, I'm yelling for you to rotate the play. Up and in. Well, somebody just ran by me. Who was it? Bud and Zach?
Yeah, that was me.
Okay, that's all right. Come on. All right, here we go. Goal line, zone left, and it's going to be a touchdown. You're blocking the edge. Let's go.
I think he said block pretty well.
He said, you know, hey, Freddie loves his offensive linemen, and he said he has some 9 great guys. He said he was so impressed with all of his guys this week. Another one of his offensive linemen, Jeff Gaston, one of his players from Bergen, going to Michigan next year. But these are some big guys up front for New Jersey. Across the front, they average 284 pounds, 6'5½". That's college football. That's why everyone comes to New Jersey.
It is first and goal from the 3-yard line. He gives it to the big fullback, John Barrett, and Barrett gets down to about the 2, close to the 1-yard line before he is racked up. Brandon Bell at a Corcoran High School.
John Barrett, great stats, Spence. You talk about a guy that can smell the end zone. In 26 of 28 games in his career at Old Bridge High School for Bob DeMarco, had at least 1 touchdown. Was only held under 100 yards rushing once this year, came against Piscataway, and we'll see why later in the game, because big Justin Hines anchored that defense.
By the way, these are 15-minute quarters these youngsters are playing, which they'll be playing in college. We have 11:50 to go in the first quarter, and the pitch out goes to the left side, and going nowhere is Malcolm Postel. And if that name Postel sounds familiar to you, he is a cousin to LeVar Postel, #1 draft choice of the New York Knickerbockers, played at Keyport High School and had 33 touchdowns as a senior.
Check out Dave Snyder. He's a quarterback during the regular season, but he's quarterback this offense, coming up nice, making plays, kind of just scraping along out there. And New Jersey couldn't get in. New York showing some guts. Here you see, here comes Snyder, 21. He's going to dive in low, get a little bit of help. DeVerne again has made some plays.
On 3rd down and goal, Lavecchio out of trouble. Lavecchio in trouble, doesn't even get back to the line of scrimmage, and for the 2nd time in the series, we got a 4th down coming up. No, he made it in the end zone. Lavecchio made it in the end zone for the touchdown.
That's one of those plays where, as a defensive back, a guy out on the corner, you're just helpless. You don't know what to do. Do you come up? Do you break off coverage? Matt did a good job. Now, here you go. He's going to roll it out. He's been successful going to his right in this game. There you see the good speed. He's a 4'5" kid getting to the corner. And then the corner, you're just kind of left up there. Snyder, strong safety. Do you stay back and come with the crossing tight end, or do you come up?
Extra point attempt is up. And the extra point is good, but we do have a flag on the play.
Blue captain.
Chris Smolin from Lenape Valley. His dad's his coach. He was out there to kick the extra point.
6'4", 235-pound kid who's going to be going to Johns Hopkins.
15 Duffy. Legal participation, 12 men on the field for the kickers. 15-yard penalty, re-kick.
Well, let's see if Smolin's going to try a big-time field goal. It'll be about 35 yards.
Well, his career-long field goal is 38 yards. This would be a career-long extra point, that's for sure. This would match his career-long field goal, or just close, 35 yards.
Not even close. So the penalty hurts New Jersey. but they get on the board in an opening drive with Lovecchio going in for the final yard. A drive of 77 yards, and New Jersey has jumped out in front by a score of 6-0. 9 plays, 77 yards, and they ate up 4 minutes and 7 seconds on the clock. So New Jersey has jumped out in front 7-0.
And they did it with a little bit of pass, a little bit of run, good blocking up front, nice execution, and they look calm. They didn't look like a team that had practiced just 11 times, because that's all you got. They came into camp on the 4th of July. They practiced through Friday of this week, got on a bus on Saturday morning and came up to West Point. And this is not where New York wanted to be, because one thing New York can do and do well is run the football, because you have Mr. Maldonado over there. The quarterbacking, you don't want to have to put New York in a situation where they have to throw the ball. They can throw it when the other team isn't waiting for it, but if they're waiting, watch out. Young at the quarterback position, even though they're graduated seniors.
As we get set for the kickoff, Smallin kicks it off. And the ball returned up to the 31-yard line. Ishmael Medley with the return. Let's check in with Gene Golder.
Spencer, Matt Lovecchio making it happen with his arm on that drive, then running in for the 2-yard touchdown. Is that what New Jersey wanted to do in this game, get out to that early lead? Because in the past 2 years, they were down 2 touchdowns. Was that something that was stressed this week?
Yeah, you know, we're going after him. We had that long first pass to Jared Jones. He made a great catch. Our execution's been great. We were practicing hard all week, and you know, we got one in on the first drive, and that's good. Hopefully we do it again.
Must be great playing with all these skill position players out there.
It's unbelievable. You see that first catch? I didn't have to do anything. It's beautiful.
Good luck the rest of the way. Spencer, back to you.
Well, there's Maldonado, who averaged 13 yards a carry through the season, being limited to 1 in his first carry up to the 32-yard line. Troy Bennett out of Paulsboro High School, and they're in the stop for New Jersey. He'll be going to Temple. And number 12, Cedric Stevens, your quarterback, at a Corcoran High School. He'll be going to Butler JC in Kansas. Through 21 touchdown passes as a senior. Maldonado and his teammate Mark Maraglino will be in the backfield. Maraglino will be the fullback. And Cedric Stevens, the quarterback. We'll check the offensive line for you. Jason Freiser will be the tight end. Andre Fontanet, number 89, will be a split end. The flanker is Matt Cateo out of Webster Central High School for the New York kids. Brian Thomas, Brian Barlanti, Brad Palmer, and Eric Weber will be up front. The Clareton offensive lineup for the New York All-Stars, as we just checked it out. But the man to watch is Sammy Maldonado, number 45. He's a senior, rush for 3,300 yards. 6'2", 220 pounds. Will be playing his college ball at Ohio State. Second down. And Stevens passing. Incomplete. And we got a penalty on the play. Mike Roberts was the intended receiver. And it looked like he got bumped in the play, perhaps by Tim Johnson.
Well, there are some college rules in this game. There are some high school rules. There, they're calling pass interference, even though it wasn't a catchable ball.
Pass interference?
That rule does not apply in high school.
15 yards, automatic first down.
New York was definitely on the wrong page there, Spence, but it worked out for him.
So first down for New York as the ball will be spotted at the 40-yard line of the New Jersey defense, brought to you by Clareton. Justin Hines, Sean Brophy, Anthony Grossen, Joe Weiss, and Tim Johnson up front. The linebackers are Darrell Reed. He's going to Minnesota. Nickname is Foots, F-O-O-T-Z, and Troy Bennett. And here's Maldonado trying to get outside. He's not going to be able to do so. New Jersey defense swarming and coming up very, very quickly to put a stop on him. Mentioned Darrell Reed, number 4. He was in there.
Well, you know, interesting thing right off the bat, he was kind of fired up when we were doing interviews the other day. He was at the Penn State camp with Sammy, and he had heard a little bit about him, but then when he started reading and hearing about him and seeing what he was doing during the year, he was all excited. That's Minnesota against Ohio State, the first time the Big Ten meets, and the first time there, it goes to number 4 in Minnesota. Good job coming in and taking down the 6'2", 220-pound sensation.
2nd down and 8 now, and Maldonado with 2 carries for 3 yards. Nice ball fake by Stevens. Looking downfield, and it's incomplete. Had a man open. Number 86, Ed Vunyerzak, out of Monroe, Woodbury High School. And it goes incomplete.
What about Adam Taliaferro out of Eastern High School? This is a guy who put up big yards as a running back, but watch the end of the play and what you do. Look at Sammy Maldonado taking on Tim Johnson. That's Ohio State, Penn State. That goes to Sammy. But here's the pass. A little out in front, but look at Taliaferro. He's sending a message, Spence. Don't come across the middle. I may not be the biggest corner in the world, but I'll put a whooping on you.
He says he doesn't mind playing defense. He said, look, I broke my collarbone as a sophomore. I broke a rib as a senior. It's a lot safer on the defensive end being the hitter instead of the hittee.
Yeah, he looked like there. He was going out trying to break some bones on some other people. Great career for Adam.
3rd down and 8. Stevens with lone setback. Maldonado hands it off to him. Nice move. Maldonado's got the 1st down or more, and he's into New Jersey territory down at the 42-yard line. Before he stopped on the play by Taliaferro. But a nice effort individually right there. You can see why Sam Maldonado is as good as he is. Watch the feet.
Troy Bennett, welcome to the world of Sammy Maldonado. I'm there, I'm gone. Tremendous feet for a big kid, 220 pounds. And then once he makes the move, he has great acceleration. Folks, let me put it on the line right here. Sammy Maldonado played for Class B Harrison High School. He would have done this anywhere in the state. He's that good. You saw it right there. Great vision, great feet, great back.
16 yards. New York trailing 6-0. This is their first possession. They're on the move. They give to Maldonado again. He's got 2, he's got 3, and barrels ahead for 4 to 5 yards. As that was Trevor Dimmy who had just come into the lineup as Rich Stallone came up to make the stop, and there's Big Sam on the sideline.
Well, I'll tell you, he's pumping water onto his neck, and they caught a break. We have to talk about that, Spence. What a beautiful day. I was a little worried for these guys on a July 8th day on the AstroTurf up at the point, but Wake caught a huge break. Trevor Dimmy, kid can fly. Sleepy Hollow High School, a 5-time all-section track guy, began running track for the high school in 8th grade, and he began running the football in 9th grade and hasn't stopped.
On 2nd down now, and about 6. Again, the inside handoff goes to Dimmies at the 30. He's got a 1st down. Taliaferro stripped the ball out of his hand and picks it up. Great play by Adam Taliaferro. He just took the ball right out of Trevor Dimmy's hands, and the ball winds up back in Jersey's possession.
Ace, we're going ace. I want 2 tight ends.
Matt Cateo making his way off the field, but great play by Taliaferro.
Now watch Dimmy, Spence. He reads Cateo's block wrong. If he comes back inside, he's okay. He reads it outside, and Taliaferro just strips the football away. That's a strong kid right there. This is a kid who set the all-time record for the high jump at Eastern High School, 6'6". I've got to check some stats, seeing what he does as far as bench and weightlifting, because he got the arm in there and just pulled it away. Again, reads the block wrong. And Taliaferro, great job. What a tremendous job by Adam Taliaferro, who will play corner for Penn State next year.
So New Jersey has the ball back on a 1st and 10. And Lovecchio drops back. We get a whistle and a stoppage for play.
Well, you can see right there the acceleration, even though the play was blown dead. Will Smith, 81, Proctor High School, going to Ohio State next year.
Dead ball, 1st time warning on the offense, unbalanced line. No unbalanced line allowed. It's a warning. Next one's 15-yard penalty.
There are several rules that are going to be employed in this game. No blocking below the waist, no blitzing, no stunting by the defense.
Sitting a 5-2 base, kickoffs from the 35. You can run the ball out of the end zone in high school. You can't do that normally. It's a safety reason as soon as it crosses the plane.
Adam Taliaferro, who sits it out as the offense is out there. So no penalty in that one. It's just a warning. And a 1st down, Lovecchio, chased by Will Smith. Able to get rid of the football, but it's intercepted. Taken away by Deshaun Carter, and Carter will go all the way for the touchdown. touchdown. Lavecchio just put it right into Carter's hands. The youngster from Long Island, Lawrence High School, picked it off and goes all the way and shows that 4.3 speed he has in the 40, moving down the sideline.
And there's a flag on the play. Joe Casarella not happy about it at all. The touchdown will stand, though. Carter's touchdown will stand. Here goes Matt, forced out of the pocket, and Will Smith is coming from the backside. There's Doug Goodwin. Nobody out there except Nashawn Carter. He's the state champ in the 400-meter dash, and once he smelled end zone, he turned on the jets. Lawrence High School, Nassau County. Nashawn Carter ties it up at the 6:50 mark.
36-yard run with the intercepted pass for the touchdown. So Carter will be not moving far from home. Nassau Community College. And here's the youngster we talked about earlier to kick the extra point, Sandro De Angelis. And Lavecchio on the sidelines. But here's De Angelis, who will be playing his college football at Nebraska. That's perfect. So New York has jumped out in front. They come back after trailing 6-0. They get the tying touchdown via a turnover. The extra point is good. Lavecchio puts it up in the air, but to the wrong man. And New Jersey trails now by a score of 7-6 as Nashawn Carter returns this one 36 yards for a touchdown to give New York a 7-6 lead. Into the hands of Nashawn Carter, and Gene Gold is downstairs with him. Gene?
Nashawn Carter, your interception couldn't have come at a better time. Lavecchio scores a touchdown, 6-0 New Jersey. Dimmy fumbles the ball, momentum going to New Jersey, and then the interception.
I had to step it up. I knew my offense. If the offense get it done, the defense is going to get it done. I had to step it up. I had to make up for that fumble. I just saw the ball in the air. My first reaction was to go for the ball. That was it.
The important thing right now for New York is to keep the lead. They had the lead the past 2 years, but to keep the lead, what do you guys have to do?
Definitely, just keep the intensity up. Just keep it up. I like the crowd. The crowd is into it. Everything else, and it should be good from there.
Long Island, a happy place right now. Nashawn Carter, the touchdown to put New York up 7-6. Spencer, back to you.
And here's Corey Brown on the return, and he returns it up to the 32-yard line where the New Jersey youngsters will put the ball into play. As I started to say before, Mike, a lot of people would say, why would the college coaches, as these youngsters are coming in to play this fall as freshmen, so close to their freshman year, why would they let them play? Well, the answer is simple. Football's a lot different than basketball and any other sport.
Yeah, it sure is. In basketball, you go from high school, you make an immediate impact in college, sometimes even in the pros now. In high school, this will probably be the last organized football game most of these guys play for over a year. Most will be red-shirted in this game. You have guys who aren't here today, like Sean Olivier from Lawrence, who's already number 2 on the depth chart down at Ohio State. That's Carter's teammate. So you can understand why a kid like that wouldn't play in the game. There are some kids that have commitments academically who can't make the game. Carlos Perez down at Florida already. That's Tyrell Dortch's teammate. You know, a guy like Chris Sims last year for Ramapo High School, he was already down throwing the ball down at Texas. So there are some situations where if a kid's going to play right away, obviously they can't take part in an all-star game.
So Carr gets 9 yards in that first down play. And on second down, here's Postel. And Postel moves the ball into New York territory down to the 48-yard line with 5:58 to go in the first quarter, and New York leading it by a score of 7-6. It is first down, New Jersey, and they're on the move again. Let's check in with Gene once again with the #1 man in New York State.
I'm talking to the #1 fan in New York State, Governor George Pataki. And the past 2 years, Governor Whitman was at this game, and she was saying that, you know what, she thinks New Jersey's going to bring home the Governor's Cup every year. What do you have to say about that? What's your rebuttal?
Not a chance. New York's ahead right now, and we haven't even had Sammy Maldonado carry the ball more than twice. So I'm confident we're going to win this game.
A Peekskill native, played 2 years at Peekskill High School playing basketball. Now, what does this game mean to New York? Is this something fun? Is this something you talk about, something you look forward to every year? I know it's only in its 3rd year, but what does it mean?
I think the fact that it's in the 3rd year and you have the size of a crowd shows how important it is. And I think parents, fans, people who just love high school sports are just excited about it. I think it's going to get bigger and bigger, and it's a good way to reward great athletes for what they've accomplished over their time in high school. I just think it's a great event. I hope it gets bigger.
Well, thank you for your time, Governor. New York up 7-6. Spencer, back to you.
Governor George Pataki of the state of New York.
Spence, you got to love it. First of all, Governor Pataki had a scouting report. Anytime the guy that runs the state knows who the top back in the state is, that's good right away. But even more so, little tidbit, Governor Pataki's daughter was in a high school play. She was Mrs. Claus. Elton Brand was Mr. Claus when they were back in high school. Both went to Peekskill.
Well thrown away. Corey Brown, the intended receiver. And that's what you're going to get in these games, too. You're going to get mistiming like that. Brown hadn't even turned toward the ball when LaVecchia delivered it.
Well, there's Chris Dapolito, 4-year starter for Joe Martucci at Matawan High School. Actually, that could be Chris Wispelway in there, number 16 for Pequannock High School. 2-year starter, 22-2, National Honor Society, over 2,900 career yards, 52 touchdowns, just 10 interceptions for Pequannock, a Group 2 power.
And he will be headed to Duke University. On second down, right up the middle, goes Postel once again. Brandon Bell in on the stop out of Corcoran High School. Postel again, Keyport High School. This kid was an all-league baseball player also. It really shouldn't surprise you. Most of these kids, if you're a great high school athlete, you can just about do it all.
Well, you know, and that's the difference between football and basketball. Big-time football players play other sports. Big-time basketball players just play the sport of basketball. That's why I love football. You see the guys out running track. You're going to see a lot of guys who wrestle in this game. We'll talk about them throughout. A lot of multi-sport guys.
Here's Postel once again, and Postel coming close to another first down. His knee hit at about the 29-yard line, so a gain of 8 yards on the play. Mike Gawney, who will be going to Albany State out of Troy High School for New York in on the stop. It'll be a second down and 2. Postel was telling us how excited he was, and his whole family was, the night of the NBA draft when LeVar got drafted by the Knickerbockers in the first round.
Never played against him in basketball. I'll tell you one thing, LeVar wouldn't want to try to play defense against him. This is a kid that squats 500 pounds, and you can see it in his thighs. Great acceleration.
On second down, and this pass complete to Johnny Moran out of Parsippany Hills. It's enough for a first down. So Moran stopped by Gawney on the play. Moran's an interesting youngster. He's going to be going to Syracuse. His dad is a professional bodybuilder, and you watched him at multi-sport guy, a third-team All-State basketball.
Yeah, he's a great player. A lot of people said this was maybe the greatest year ever for high school football receivers in the state of New Jersey, and that's saying a lot. One of 8 guys from this game that'll go and play for Paul Pasqualoni at Syracuse.
Well, New Jersey on the move again. Ball down at the 19-yard line, and a little bit of movement. Will Smith just jumping the gun, number 81. Or he might have been drawn. No, Smith off sides on the play. Smith, we've mentioned him several times. He'll be going to Ohio State. 4-year starter. He's 6'4", 230 pounds. And returned kicks for his high school. That's 6'4", 230.
Well, you know what I think there, Spence? I think he was looking for his 61st career sack because he has 60 in that 4-year varsity career. And the big fella, they call him Big Will, trying to get off the corner. He's wreaked some havoc. He's gotten in there a little bit. He's winning the battle on the corner.
So we've got a first down and 15 now. Postel and Carr remain the running backs. And again movement. That time it might have been number 51, Jeff Gaston, who made the initial move for New Jersey.
Spence, you know what I think may have happened there? Mike Williamson is the center now. He's the new center for New Jersey at a Southern high school, going to Rutgers, 6'6", 300 pounds. Has never played the position before. Terry Shea recruited him as a center, so he started working with his coach in the offseason to learn the position. And I know that Rutgers is real happy to get him, and I think right there you could see Matt, I'm thinking LaVecchia, Wispelway. You could see they kind of looked at each other after the nose snap. So just a little confusion.
So it becomes a first down and 20 now. Jersey backing up. Wispelway picking it out to Postel. And Postel gets down to the 17-yard line. Gains 3. His 6th carry of the game for 42 yards. Postel making some yards. We're down to 2:55 to go first quarter. And New York leading it by a score of 7-6.
Well, the 81s got into it there. Kyle Badidskak from Bridgewater High School headed off to Notre Dame, and Big Will Smith. Little extracurricular stuff. You know what? I don't mind that. because it goes to show that there's a little bit of hatred for each other right here. So, and that's what a rivalry is all about. And I've always said, it's very important for New York. You don't get a rivalry, you don't get a game to grow if it's one-sided all the time. It's very important for New York to win one of these and win one soon.
Had a look at Sam Maldonado on the sidelines. His dad, who's a New Yorker now, threw a big party for him at Mickey Mantle's restaurant, invited all the people. My son's going to college. He's going to be a star. He already is. Kid signs a lot of autographs. Here's Wispelway to throw. Wispelway in trouble. Got away from Will Smith. It picks up maybe 1 or 2 yards, and the play turns a potential 10-yard loss into a 2-yard game. Edie Lobo came up to make the stop.
Well, Wispelway better go give Malcolm Postell a pat on the butt, because Postell just saved Wispelway's life. Big Will Smith again. Watch 81. Great first step, great acceleration, and Malcolm, 6'2", 205 pounds, saved Wispelway, and then he got Will Smith again. You gotta love the backs who run for 1,500, 2,000 career yards, or run for that in a season, and they'll still put the leather on him. But Will Smith, impressive looking, still raw. Art Trollo tells me, the defensive coordinator.
Now we got a 3rd down and 2 now, and that should be enough for the first down, as Postell has become the workhorse here for the New Jersey team. Down to 1:59 to go in this first quarter.
Spence really liked Dave Snyder, the way he plays the game. He's active, number 21 on New York. He just seems to be everywhere. He's calling the defenses for Art Trollo, the defensive coordinator, and he's just around the ball every play.
And Will Smith's going to get himself a rest, but it's goal to go coming up.
There's Dave Snyder, again, a 2-time All-America out of lacrosse, Brewster High School. Led them to 3 Section 1 championships. The only Section 1 championship he didn't win was against Harrison High School, and that guy, Maldonado. The Huskies of Harrison, what a great run they had. What a great run that young man had. And if it is his last game, boy, he's doing what he told us was going to do. He says, I'm going to leave it all on the field.
And he says, yes, he has watched film of Jimmy Brown, not only playing football, but playing lacrosse. And many still say Jimmy Brown might have been the greatest lacrosse player of all time.
Never missed a football game. 37-6 in his career, and never missed a game or a practice.
So it's goal to go. Postell alone setback. Jersey trailing 7-6. Here's Postell, has room on the outside, gets tripped up, and goes down at the 6-yard line. Edie Lobo went on the stop, but it was John DeVerne, number 29, who came up and made the initial contact out of Canandaigua Academy up in Rochester, New York. He's going to be attending Alfred University.
He's a tough guy. Again, when you think about some of the places their defensive backs are going, New Haven, Nassau, Syracuse on lacrosse, Fordham, Alfred, and Albany State, they don't match up well as far as skill potential against these New Jersey receivers, but they're coming up putting the leather on them.
2nd and goal from the 6. Postell. Touchdown, New Jersey. Postell went right side and unmolested, uncontested into the end zone for the final 6 yards, and New Jersey has regained the lead with 52 seconds to go in this first quarter of play. A very impressive drive of 69 yards.
Well, look at 81, Kyle Badinskak getting off the ball and just sealing the outside, and that's why Malcolm Postell led the state in scoring last year with 232 points. That's touchdown number 32 on the senior season, but just a great job by Badinskak, who's headed off to Notre Dame next year, getting out, got off the ball well, and took 2 guys to open the door for Postell.
Yeah, let's see if they're going to go for 2 or they're going to kick it. It's 12-7 in favor of New Jersey. And they're going to go for 2. Chris Wispelway leading them to that touchdown. They've got Carr and Postell in the setback position as John Barrett now joins them. So it's Barrett, Postell, and Carr, and a flag.
Those are a couple of tough guys. Carr and Barrett, Spence, those are tough guys. So if I see Carr in the slot to the right side, I see Barrett right behind center and Postell to his left, I have to believe that we're going to see Postell sweeping to the right if they come back out in that formation, because you've got 2 tough guys that are going to try to get out there and lead the way.
But the 5-yard penalty puts it back at the 8-yard line. Let's see how this influences the call right here.
Still run behind those 2 tough guys.
And they've got it the same way. Postell nearest to you. He's going to throw it. Looking to the end zone. It's incomplete. And the backside of the end zone was Mike Carr. Had he caught it, it would have been incomplete. He was over the line. So it goes awry in New Jersey, failing to make both its extra point attempts. Leads it by a score of 12-7. 9 plays, 69 yards, and pressure right here on the quarterback. And Will Smith was back in there again.
Will Smith, Doug Goodwin, but Wispelway did a nice job. Instead of just trying to run around, he stepped up in what little there was in the pocket and just tried to get that extra last second. But Nate Lassick, the governor, you know, he was a basketball guy for the Red Devils of Peekskill High School. I don't know how much these guys should be listening to him down there, but you gotta love it. The governor out here. And Christine Whitman last year, she laid down the gauntlet. She said, we'll win this thing every year. They have great talent there. But the governor out here, you gotta love that. You know, Albany not far from here.
Joe Namath can make predictions, so can governors.
That's it. Very impressed with Wispelway that time on that drive. Showed some good poise, good job. 2 years started. There's your scoring drive. 9 plays, 69 yards. And they ate up 5 minutes, 47 seconds. Postel, 6 yards off the right side for the touchdown.
And 9 carries for Postel for a total of 57 yards. A very impressive drive indeed. Smolin kicks it off. And it's taken by Trevor Demme. Demme still with the ball up over the 40 to the 43-yard line. So nice return by Demme before he stopped on the play by Tim Johnson out of Del Barton High School.
He's a tough guy. Tim Johnson, he's a throwback guy. Game starts at 1 o'clock. He has his helmet on at 11.
Let's check in with Gene. Gene?
Pittsburgh getting a great player in Malcolm Postel, Keyport High School. No better way to answer back New York, but on your own legs and scoring the touchdown.
Well, I just followed my block. My own fullback made a great block. I just cut off his block. The lineman was doing a good job of blocking. I just seen the hole. I just had to get in there.
What's it like running behind a bunch of all-star linemen?
It feels great, you know. Just everybody has raw talent, you know. The fullback's just going to make that block, and it's up to me and Tyrell to make that cut off the block. Just do what we can do.
Good luck the rest of the way. A lot of talent in the Postel family. First cousins with LeVar Postel. Played basketball for St. John's. Got drafted by the Knicks. Spencer?
Okay, on first down, Stevens throwing incomplete, so it'll be a second down coming up in New Jersey. 55 seconds to go in a very long first quarter. We're seeing the ball put up in the air quite a bit by these youngsters.
That's what the fans like. You know, Postel's one of those guys when we were meeting with him the other day. Just a great personality. Effervescent, fun to be around. I really enjoyed spending some time with him the other day.
Well, here is Stevens, first-team All-Stater, the Central New York Player of the Year, as this time he hands it off to Quinn Walton out of Aquinas Institute. He gets maybe a couple of yards on the play.
Section 5's all-time leading rusher. Only player ever to go over 2,000 yards in a season as a junior. 2,111 yards.
He's got an uncle, Anthony Jordan, who played in the NFL with the Cowboys, Phoenix, and the then Houston Oilers.
Get the broom out.
A third down coming up, and 7 as the ball is at the 46-yard line, and the clock runs out, ending the first quarter. First quarter that's seen 3 touchdowns go on the board. New Jersey.
Give it to the official.
Takes the lead. Back comes the team from New York and New Jersey as the sunshine breaks through once again on a beautiful day here at West Point, with New Jersey leading military leaders. On third down and 7 now, Stevens throws, and his pass is complete up to the down to the 45-yard line. The tight end Jason Freiser, who will be going to Colgate in the fall. His uncle was a Colgate graduate.
Not a lot of catches for Maine Endwell High School, just 28 during the season, 400 yards, 800 yards for his career. The big 6'5", 230-pound tight end for New York.
And a member of the National Honor Society in his high school days. On first down, Stevens hands the ball off to Quinn Walton, and Walton gets back maybe to the line of scrimmage. That hole closed very, very quickly. Nate Jones from his free safety position. Scotch Plains High School, he'll stay in New Jersey. and attend Rutgers. And on the stop, it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Well, I tell you, a guy who came in there real nice, too, number 36, Dominic Santoli, played for Bergen Catholic this year. Going to play for Delaware next year. And this is a kid, 6'2", 220 pounds, just a sensational year for Fred Stengel. He had the unenviable task of trying to move from the outside linebacker position back into the inside to replace Rich Scanlon, who was the state's Defensive Player of the Year last year, who now plays for Syracuse, and did an unbelievable job this year.
Didn't make it a state player defensively of the year, but the county player of the year. Once again, the handoff goes to Walton. And Walton got some initial action, but Clarence Curry came up quickly to make the stop. Curry is 6'1", 185 pounds. Wears number 26, and he'll be attending Villanova. And a 3rd down coming up, and a 3rd down and 5. It's a 12-7 ball game. New Jersey out in front early 2nd quarter.
There's Big Dom, placed 4th in the state wrestling tournament this year at the 215-pound weight class. The winner, Mike Carr, the fullback from Hunterdon Central. So I have to believe those guys talked about that a little bit this week as they prepared at Rutgers.
Sammy Maldonado is back in the lineup on a 3rd down play. Breaks a tackle, doesn't get enough for the 1st down. Brian Pons came up to make the stop. Pons played his high school ball at Saddlebrook. Maldonado. We've got a 4th down coming up in 3, and it doesn't look like they're sending a punter out.
Here it is again, Sammy Maldonado coming up about 1.5 yards short. There you see the power. This isn't a kid who just wants to run around you because he has great speed. When he has the chance to run through you, he will. Beautiful day for football. Any day is a beautiful day for football.
And any day you can make it up to West Point to see a football game in the fall. Behind the stadium, the Hudson River flows by. And when those leaves begin to change on an autumn day, there is not quite anything as beautiful. You might find something to equal. But football here on the banks of the Hudson, it is beautiful indeed. Those trees begin to lose their leaves, but before they do,
Spence is getting ready for football season.
This is just it's such a beautiful place, and just the tradition involved in what West Point football means. This is known as Mikey Stadium, but a couple of years ago they finally gave the recognition to Earl Blake, the colonel, who coached those great Army teams with Blanchard Davis, and it's now also known as Blake Field. Some people might want to know who Mikey was, Mikey Stadium. Well, he graduated in the year of 1892 from the United States Military Academy. He was the first football captain at West Point, and he lost his life in the Battle of San Juan Hill, which is most remembered for Teddy Roosevelt charging up San Juan Hill in 1898. And they named the stadium for him.
I always learn things when I work with you.
This is a lot of history here, and again, not only with football, but just our entire nation. So on 4th down and 1, they're going for it. They got Maldonado at the tailback position. Maldonado bucks ahead and crosses that 35-yard line. He's got enough for the 1st down.
He got it, and I tell you, what a great job by the New York offensive line, because Henry comes up and he's trying to get them, Cedric Stevens, the quarterback, coming up, and he's hard counting them, and they had the discipline to stay home. And that may not be the best sign in the world. It looks like that is number 45 down on the field for New York, and 45 would be Sammy Maldonado. And here he is. There's the vision, there's the cutback ability, and then the leg strength at the end just to push forward for that extra half yard. Now, Sammy Maldonado's a kid that played a little bit in his first game as a freshman, didn't touch the ball much, came in his 2nd game because the starting fullback got hurt, ran for 2 touchdowns. Never missed another game after that, was never injured until the final play in the state championship against Lackawanna. Hurt his right ankle, had to stay off it for 3 weeks. This is a kid that's taken a pounding. Although when you run for 7,500 yards, you're making a lot of people miss over 4 years. But very durable. To see that on the field is not what Harrison High School football fans are accustomed to.
And out in Columbus, Ohio, they cannot be happy about this, and either at the Harrison home of the Maldonado family. And Sam is just lying there. Appears to be grimacing a bit.
He has played on AstroTurf before, the state championships at the Carrier Dome. Turf is not new to him. He's played on it. His head coach Art Trollo out there with him, the defensive coordinator for the New York squad. That would be an absolute shame. I mean, if this kid couldn't play in the rest of this game, I was looking so forward to seeing Sammy Maldonado, and that's a great sign.
He's trying to get up on his own. Let's see if he can. Patting his left leg.
Hopefully he'll grab that hamstring. Maybe just cramped up a little bit. Those things can tighten up and burn on you. Yeah, but that looks like an ankle.
Which, as you said, was a problem he had in the state championship game. Here's a young man who he does exude a great deal of modesty, but yet on the other side you hear the confidence where he says, I intend to win the Heisman Trophy. But he doesn't say it in a bombastic, negative type way. Watch the leg here, the left foot, if we can catch it. Seems to get twisted as he goes down.
Well, the good thing is right before it got twisted, he was able to get the majority of his foot off the turf, because if that foot had been planted, that would have been a bad scene. Hopefully it's just a slight ankle sprain. That is the ankle that he hurt in the state championship on the final play.
So Trevor Demme will take his place in the lineup. And a first down at the 20-yard line for New York. Here's Demme, met at the 18-yard line. Darrell Reed, number 4, was the first one to come up and meet him. The youngster is going to be going to the University of Minnesota. This is a kid who, as a senior, played only 8 games. He played 6 of them with a broken hand.
Yeah. The kid's amazing. In our meeting the other day, I've never seen a kid who has more fun with life. He's just laughing, getting on all the guys in a good way. You need guys like that in all-star games like this, because even though everybody's a hotshot, big-time type player, they're still a little nervous when they all come together. And Big Darrell kind of broke the ice for New Jersey.
Second down and 8 from the 18. New Jersey leads 12-7. New York with the ball, and Stevens is looking to throw. Toward the end zone, and the ball is picked up by number 27, Adam Taliaferro, who made not a high school move. He made a big league move right there, as he thought perhaps of bringing it out of the end zone, and then said, no way, I ain't even trying it.
No way, and I think if Stevens could have had that ball back, what happens is he's rolling to his right, and he's going to come back to his left a little bit. And Taliaferro, he's great speed, just hangs the ball up, doesn't have enough arm strength there to get it to Cateo at a Webster High School. And Taliaferro making the early nod to pick up the New Jersey Defensive MVP award.
All he's done is intercept the ball, strip a ball. So he's caused a fumble, stopped the drive.
And the one I liked was even when the guy missed the ball coming across the middle, he said, hey, remember, this is my house. Yeah.
So New Jersey has it back. And Wispelway will remain the quarterback as they put it into play, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
Give it to him!
And Wispelway airs it out down the far side. It goes incomplete. Isaac Irby, the intended receiver, and John DeVerne had his back to Irby, but stayed with the man and didn't face guard him, so it goes an incomplete.
And maybe Wispelway wish he could have just had it 1 second longer, but Doug Goodwin was coming in on him, and Tyrell Dortch just gave up his body to save Wispelway. He was banging with the 6'3", 280-pounder. And Doug Goodwin, great first step.
Second down and 10. Let's check in with Gene down the sidelines, get a report on Sammy Maldonado. Gene?
Well, the New York sideline, Ohio State, Harrison High School, they could all breathe a sigh of relief because Sammy Maldonado will be out there. He just twisted up his left knee. He was on it. He was putting a lot of pressure on it, jumping on it. He says he will play again. Spencer?
Just twisted his left knee. Still, they're not breathing that well, but he seems to be okay on the sideline, just flexing out. This kid wants to get back in the ball.
Well, you know what's funny, because a lot of people said Sammy did what he did because he played in Class B, and even though he knows he's a great player, I know this kid. He wants to prove to people today he can do it against big-time competition.
On second down and 10 from the 20, the handoff goes to John Barrett, the fullback, and he gets basically nothing as he is stopped at the line of scrimmage. So it'll be a third down coming up for Jersey. 11 minutes to go in this first half. New Jersey leads in the football game by a score of 12-7. We've got turnovers. Here's Maldonado on the sidelines, flexing that left leg. Seems to be all right. Might wait a while, Paul. You know. Sam, be a little patient. Third down. And Whistleway will air it out. Big rush. They work the screen. And making a move is Dortch, but Dortch can't get anywhere. As they covered up beautifully. They sent 2 men in after the quarterback. And the screen went out, but diagnosed perfectly by this New York defense. Real good job right there. Number 65, Gerald Carroll.
That's Al Paterzo's kid out of Susan Wagner on Staten Island. It started out looking good for New Jersey. They sell it, and they've got some people out there throwing some blocks. But then Dortch decides to cut it back, just trying to make a play. And nowhere to go. Big Will Smith. Ohio State versus Michigan State. Tearing the Hoboken Star down.
So Joe Nolan out of St. Peter's Prep with the first punt of the football game. And Dimmy bobbles the ball. And it looks like it's recovered by New Jersey as New Jersey comes up with a fumble. Troy Bennett, number 38, came in out of Paulsboro High School, and on the turnover, New Jersey's going to get it back. Dimmy just played that one right off his chest.
Different thing out there in front of you. Grant Adams flying down for New Jersey on that. Maybe Dimmy took his eyes off the football. Here comes 24 in red. Can't tell if he did or not. He's got to make that play, but Grant Adams, do what you have to do. Just run right through the return man. And then Bennett plays for a great high school, Paulsboro High School down in South Jersey, 4-year starter. That school set the state record for consecutive victories during his freshman year. Won something like 68 or 69 consecutive football games.
Well, mistakes really hurting the New York team. That's their 3rd turnover, and Bennett coming up with that fumble recovery. There's been a strip by Taliaferro to take the ball away. There's been an interception by Taliaferro. And right now, number 38, Bennett, comes up with the turnover. 9:42 to go in the half. New Jersey leads by a score of 12-7.
He's a 6'2", 220-pound senior. Spence going to play for Temple next year. Not far from Paulsboro High School, South Jersey. Just made the shot down to Philly. Big fella probably grabbed himself a couple of cheesesteaks along the way.
You better.
Be set.
If you're being in Philly, you don't have a cheesesteak. That's like being in Coney Island, not going to Nathan's. Been a good ball game. They've been turnovers. We've seen some good hitting. We've seen some really fine talent. And we've seen some mistakes by the more recognized players. There is such an intensity involved with the no name, so to speak. These kids want to show they can play on any level with the best. And just the fact that you're on either of these squads, you got to be a pretty good football player.
Oh, no question.
You said 33 out of 33 out of the 46 New Jersey squad playing for Division I school.
17 out of the 43 for New York.
So Dapolito becomes the quarterback now for New Jersey. Chris Dapolito, number 14. And they run a flea flicker. We got a flag in the play as Dapolito looks downfield, and he's got a man. As the ball is complete to Corey Brown. They ran the flea flicker, but hold on. That was pretty. They started the game off running a reverse, and now they come right back here with a flea flicker on Dapolito out of Matawan Regional High School's first play of the game.
Well, Fred Stengel, the offensive coordinator, usually saves this for the second half against St. Joe's of Montvale. Lavecchio did this a couple of years ago in the state championship for a 50-yard touchdown pass.
Holding.
That one again because New York got good pressure.
Replay, second down.
Good pressure will take the flea flicker away. The pressure came from right up the middle.
And Corey Brown was there to haul it in. But it becomes a 1st and 20 with the ball back at the 45-yard line.
Matt Tarullo from his nose guard position flying up 6'6", 285 out of Colony High School going to Syracuse next year.
Bright sunshine here at West Point. Dapolito. He's got a man complete for a first down and then some to Corey Brown. And Corey Brown, he needed 20 on the play. He winds up getting 24 and a first down at the 29-yard line of New York, with New Jersey leading 12-7 and on the move again.
Well, Dapolito, look at him step up here. 6'3", 215 pounds. Nice and confident in there. Gets it. Good shot, Dapolito. Going to Rutgers next year. Committed early. Said he hopes other kids will follow in his footsteps next year. Get those early commitments. There's so much talent in this state of Jersey.
Great talent. Rutgers has to start capturing a little bit more of it. Here's the handoff on first down, and it's Malcolm Postell, who has been the workhorse for the New Jersey team. Getting down close to the 30-yard line, gets maybe 3 yards on the play. They'll mark it down at the 31. Call it a gain of 3 from the 34 to the 31. It's second down and 7.
Oh, once again, John DeVerne coming up from his right cornerback position, saves a touchdown. He gets by DeVerne, and Postell's going into the end zone. 5'9", 195-pounder, headed off to Alfred University next year. Said he wanted to get in this game to throw one pass. Promised his girlfriend Becky he'd get in the game, throw a touchdown pass. He was a quarterback. He's doing a fine job out on the corner today.
John, don't make promises like that. Here's the second down play, and they go once again to Postell. And Malcolm Postell now up to about 65 yards in this first half. And remember, the man who we thought we were going to see the most of, as Will Smith came up to make the stop right there, the man we thought we were going to see the most of, Tyrell Dortch, has been overshadowed thus far by Postell.
You know, it's funny. We go down to watch Malcolm Postell play this year. They're playing against Freehold Borough, Darrell Reed's school. Keyport's flying all year. Postell's running for unbelievable yards. We go down there that day. It's the only day he ran for less than 100 yards. They got shut out 12-0. That's the tape Darrell Reed sent off to Ohio State, which he had committed to and then changed his mind.
3rd and 2. They give it to Postell, looking for the first down. He's going to come up a little bit short as he was stopped right at the 20-yard line by Sean Brophy, number 68.
Chris Harris in there too. He was the Section 1 AA Lineman of the Year, 6'5", 265, Ramapo High School, headed to UMass next year. That was a team I thought underachieved this year. Saw them in the preseason, thought they should have been a great power out of Section 1.
Out of the shotgun, and a great move straight up the middle on the quarterback draw by quarterback Chris Dapolito. Takes it down for a first down inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line. Goal to go, Lobo on the stop. So we've seen 3 quarterbacks now for New Jersey in this first half. We've seen Lavecchio score a touchdown, Wispelway leading to a touchdown, and Dapolito get mighty close.
You know, at first I thought maybe he checked into that, but that was a set play. That's a good call by Stengel there, the offensive coordinator, because New York had been putting some pressure on, and that time they over-pursued. And no linebackers can blitz, so he had that open lane.
On goal to go from the 8, they give to Postell, and Postell is wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage by Doug Goodwin. We do have a flag in the play. Goodwin, we haven't mentioned him much, but he is the key. He is the big guy. We talked about him prior to the start of the game. Going to Boston College at a Holy Trinity High School.
Great story.
Lobo also there.
He, a year ago in his first game, blows out his ACL on his left knee, misses the whole season. And then this year, the Holy Trinity starts out 0-4. They win their next 7 games to win the New York Catholic AA championship. I saw them in the final against Cardinal Hayes. I'm watching this kid, and I'm like, wow. I mean, his first step is sensational. And he's such a nice kid, deeply religious kid. Dad played in the NFL for 4 years, played in the AFC championship with the Buffalo Bills. You're not going to get away from Doug Goodwin when he grabs you. So, Malcolm, you can try all you want. I know you squat 500 pounds, but those legs aren't taking you anywhere when the paws of 6'3", 280-pound Doug Goodwin from grabs on.
They moved the ball back to the 17-yard line on the holding penalty, so it's goal to go from the 17. 1st and goal for New Jersey. Postell remains the lone setback. Dapolito with time, and Dapolito has his tight end, Jared Mazzetta, down to the 12-yard line. Gets 5 yards on the play. 2nd down and goal from the 12. We're down to 5:50 to go in the half. New Jersey leading in the game by a score of 12-7.
Tapolito looking good. Mazzetta played for a real good football team this year, 100 in Central. They were rolling along, won a state championship, had a 24-game win streak going into the final regular season game when they lost to West Windsor. And as fate would have it, they were able to take care of it the following week in the first round of the state tournament when they just whacked West Windsor. And so the streak will start again.
And he's heading to Virginia Tech. Tapolito throws. What a nice catch. Got the arm up there. Did Mazzetta. Mazzetta academically second in a class of 352. Also all county in baseball. Tosses the javelin. Had 10 sacks on the defensive end. And got off the ground pretty good for a kid 6'5", 240 pounds right here. That's a pretty good leap.
Shows good hands there too. The soft hands by the big fella. 6'5", 240, 20 receptions this year for 100 in Central. Played a great running attack this year. He didn't get a chance to run it that much. Melvin Hubbard, sensational for 100 in Central. Put up big time numbers. Mike Carr running the ball a little bit out of the fullback position. Had a real good quarterback there too. Andrew Conforti, just a winner. That's why 100 in Central was so strong the last 2 years.
Mike Quick, who is the guru of all high school sports. And of course, you can catch Mike with a high school report each every week on MSG. Checking on the kids. The 2000 Governor's Bowl is being brought to you by Claritin and by Mercedes-Benz, the St. Barnabas Healthcare System, and Rittenhouse Financial Services. 4 minutes, 11 seconds to go in this first half. Spencer Ross along with Mike Quick and Gene Golden. And Mike, fill the folks in there several times they can see your high school report.
Well, we do the half-hour show. That runs from October, the beginning of October, until about the middle of April. But then every Saturday night on the sports desk, on the MSG sports desk, we do a high school report, anywhere from 6 to 12 minutes. And Saturday nights, football, basketball.
Mike's been involved in it for more than a decade.
Yeah, 12 years now. It's fun. You know, it's great. I mean, you used to call the old high school football games on WPIX, and you get to know the kids a little bit. And you know, it's nice when they move on and you see them on TV playing in college or the pros. And it's nice to think that you kind of grew up with them a little bit.
Marty Glickman, the likes of John Brockman. I had a chance to watch the Harmons grow at Bayside High School and their professional career and their collegiate careers. And it's a lot of fun to see these kids and see where they wind up and see what they do with their lives. And, you know, you get to know coaches like many of you got to know, like the New York coaches, like the great Mo Finkelstein at Jefferson High School, the program he put together there. And what's being done right now with the New York City schools, and of course what we see here in New Jersey, it's a marvelous playground for these youngsters. We've got a third down right here, and goal to go. And Depolito gets hit as he throws, but he's got a touchdown. Mazzetta holds on to it in the end zone. Jared Mazzetta, and talk about sticking in there. Depolito got creamed just as he released the football, and it didn't take the angle of the ball away 1%.
And he hung in there. You know, you could throw the beautiful 60, 70-yard touchdown passes, but watch Chris. He hangs in there. Will Smith coming right up the chute, looking off, goes to his second receiver, and stays in there. Two impressive things about that play. Watch him. He's looking left the whole time, nothing there. He goes back to his secondary receiver, and he stays home in the pocket, takes the hit. That's a big-time play. Terry Shea, when he sees that at Rutgers, is going to love that because that shows poise and toughness, and that's what you want out of your quarterbacks.
So Chris Depolito leads New Jersey to its third touchdown, and once again, they're going to go for the 2. And they got it this time. This time they go to Kyle Budensak into the end zone, and they got a 20-7 lead right now. They finally got themselves an extra point.
Well, you know, as a tight end, you always kind of feel forgotten in high school football. Depolito getting both of the big fellas involved with the touchdown pass to Mazzetta, and then the 2-point conversion.
A coach is a leader, a motivator, like a big brother.
2 touchdowns here in this first half. This time, Chris Dapolito, an 11-play, 54-yard drive. And on the kickoff, Mullen puts it into play. And the ball returned up to the 33-yard line, where it'll be first down coming up as the ball was brought up by Trevor Demme. Let's check in with Gene. 11 plays and 54 yards, 5:37 the time of the clock. Dapolito with the touchdown. Here's Gene.
Of the 11 plays, Spencer, 3 of those going to Jared Mazzetta, including the touchdown. All the skill players at the running back positions and the wide receivers positions. Must be nice for a tight end to catch a touchdown pass in this one.
I'm a big target, so if I just got to shield off the guys, and then they'll hit me on the pass, as long as I'm open.
Well, you're going to a great program next year in Virginia Tech. They competed for the national championship this year. A game like this get you ready for next year? A game like this get you ready for next year?
Yeah, this is the next step. Moving on to the next step. This is the best competition in New Jersey and New York. This is the next stepping stone to college, and then from there on, it's just the next level.
Well, good job out there so far today. Spencer, back to you.
Watch this pass and watch the way Dapolito stays in there. Ooch! Impressive.
Real impressive. You can't draw it up any better than that. Smarts, toughness, the whole bit. And then back to live action before, Darrell Reed introducing himself to Karan Henry from Brooklyn Tech. This kid averaged 14 tackles a game for Freehold. He is showing why, because he has been real active for New Jersey. 2nd down and 10 now.
And the handoff going straight up the middle to Quinn Walton. Walton, who will attend Bridgeton Academy. Cedric Stevens, the young man who played quarterback for Brooklyn Tech. Chuck McQuaid, number 28, in the stop from West Milford High School.
You know who did a nice job on that too, Spence, was Jason Green from Orange High School. He's going to Minnesota next year as well, and he just came in low and was able to grab on.
3rd down and 9 now from the 33. So we look at Stevens. Went to Brooklyn Tech, which is a school that you must take an exam to get into for New York. He lives in Canarsie. Only 3 trains and an hour and a half each way to get to school. That goes incomplete. He did not start playing football until his sophomore year. He was a basketball player.
Well, Tim Johnson,
yeah.
Tim Johnson almost made it like he never played another football game, because the Penn State linebacker just came flying in off the left side and almost took Karan Henry's head off. Tim Johnson, there he is. One of the truly special games this year on December 4th in the state championship at Giant Stadium against St. Joe's of Montvale. Look at the size, prototypical, 6'4", 240. He's going to be great at Penn State. But he had 3 sacks in the first half against St. Joe's. They couldn't stop him. If it wasn't for a slight concussion and dehydration in the second half, I don't know if St. Joe's would have come back to win that game 22-17. His dad was the roommate of Fran Gantner, the associate head coach at Penn State when they played. His dad, Pete, played at Penn State. And he forces New York into a punting situation. It's an interesting story, though, because Fran Gantner went to high school with Pete's mom, Mary, and she and Fran introduced Mary to his roommate, his fraternity brother, who ended up marrying Pete Johnson, and then
that's why we've got Tim in the game.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, Tim would be in this game if there was no Frank Gantner or anything, because he earned his way to Penn State. That was no favor, I'll tell you that.
There might not be no Tim.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's Honorado's kick. Joe Paterno wouldn't have been happy. Honorado's kick, and a pretty nice return. Adam Taliaferro, trying to keep his balance, brought it up to the 37-yard line. So New Jersey will get it back now with 2:06 to go in the first half, and they're not going to sit on the football right here. They lead it by a score of 20-7, and they'll look to put a little more on the board. Remember, the first 2 years of this game, as Dapolito remains in the game at quarterback, first 2 years of this game, it was New York jumping out to quick leads. 12-0 the first year, 15-0 the second year, before New Jersey came from behind to win it. Right now, these Jersey kids very aware of the history of the first 2 games, and they wanted to come out right from the get-go.
Well, they're in the shotgun, and Chris has been perfect. Dapolito in this game, 4 of 4.
And looking for a 5er here. Steps up beautifully. Incomplete. Off the fingertips several times of Jared Jones, number 33. He had it. He didn't have it. And then he didn't have it. And Will Smith again making his presence felt.
And Will Smith has a reason to be upset because he was getting held and getting held big time. There you see it right there. But look at Dapolito. 3 little baby steps up in the pocket and puts a zip on the football. Spence, the kid has looked fantastic. He really, really looks good.
That's going to be nice for Rutgers. Scarlet Knights. It's a great campus. Could be a great program on the football side. The kids just have to stay home. 2nd down and 10. Some nice footwork right there by Tyrell Dortch. You see the speed, you see the ability, to make that little stutter step move and make something out of nothing, which he did right there to pick up pretty close to a 1st down.
Well, the great ones, even with the great speed, he has 4.4 speed, doesn't overuse the speed. Right there, always looking for that little move and then uses the acceleration. Once again, Will Smith. The kid has been everywhere. He's putting pressure on in the backfield. He's making tackles 10 yards down the field. Incredibly impressed. Will Smith, Proctor High School, headed off to Ohio State next year.
You want to stay with this?
It's a big, big-time prospect.
16 sacks this year, 16 tackles for losses. And Tyrell Dortch, who gained over 2,600 yards in this is senior year, mighty close to 10 more right here as they bring out the chains and they say, yes, indeed, it is a 1st down. Big Will Smith, mentioned earlier at 6'4", 230 pounds. He runs the 40 in 4.5 and return kicks in high school.
You know, it's funny. Sometimes when you get ready for all-star games like this and you read the stats, you're like, come on.
Yeah.
The kid couldn't do that. And then you see a kid like Will Smith and you're like, all right, stats are legit. They're telling us the true story about Big Will.
It's like all basketball stats with the high school kids. Everybody's 3 inches taller in the program than they really are. Down the left side, here's Dortch again. Now cutting back. A little bit of razzle-dazzle as Tyrell Dortch again tries to make something out of nothing, and it turns a no-gainer into about 5 or 6 yards into New York territory. Watch Will Smith right here.
Well, the Proctor has turned into the doctor of defense for New York. He's just stringing it out against Mazzetta right there, taking on 2 guys. Tyrell says nowhere to go. Let's bring it back the other way. Shades of when he was a sophomore, the first time he touched the football for Hoboken High School, going 70 yards in his first varsity carry for the Red Wings.
2nd down and 4, got 6 yards on that one. Dapolito out of the shotgun. He's got himself a 1st down. Tyrell Dortch with the reception. We're down to 39 seconds to go in the half. Out of bounds, the clock will stop. Of course, the clock would stop had it not gone out of bounds until they move the chains on the 1st down. And they'll move them now. A 1st down at the 44-yard line. New Jersey leading it by a score of 20-7. They trailed 7-6.
Again, New York really done nothing offensively in this game. The touchdown, a 36-yard interception returned by Nashawn Carter out of Lawrence High School. The New Jersey defense has owned the New York offense.
Right at the top of your screen, that's Grant Adams. Might keep an eye on him because he, again, can make things happen. The youngster who played his high school ball at Glen Rock High School. He's in the slot now.
And he was a quarterback when he started. And Fred Stengel loves razzle-dazzle. Don't know if he'll try it here, but remember, 24 can throw the football.
He's in the slot, and he's got the big tight end, Jared Mazzetta, way on the outside. He's got Adams at the 40. Nice move. But coming back to make a nice defensive play was Nate Lassick with 29 seconds to go.
You got to feel good for this kid, Chris Dapolito, Matawan High School. Always has been a running school. Joe Martucci's coached so many great players down there. The Jeffcoat brothers played for Matawan High School. This year he opened it up for Chris. He said, you know, we'll throw the ball if we can. Didn't throw it a lot last year. Didn't have guys who can catch it. You need both parts of the equation. And this year he opened it up for Chris, over 1,700 yards and 15 touchdowns. And you have to feel good for this kid because last year during the track season, big-time javelin guy, state champ in the javelin, and he messed up his tendons on his javelin. So he's throwing from the right side. He throws a football from the right side. Had to take 6 months off. Couldn't do a thing at the end of his junior track season coming into this year. And he was ready to go, had a career year. Chris Dapolito did.
What we've seen so far, Mike, from this youngster is he puts the ball on the money, and he puts the ball nicely, softly into the hands, and has pretty good range. The Governor's Bowl would like to thank the following for their contributions for today's game: Circle Systems Group, Rydell, Herf Jones, and Sports Bell and Anaconda Sport. A great day here at West Point, as the New Jersey All-Stars are leading it by a score of 20-7. We have 29 seconds to go in the first half, and you got high school kids signing over.
Is Derek Classic one in the red? Is Derek Classic in the red? Yes.
It's funny, they were asking about Derek Lassick. That's Nate Lassick's uncle. Derek Lassick played for Joe Casarella at North Rockland High School back in '87. The best high school running back ever covered. Went on to Alabama, was the MVP of the Sugar Bowl, played for the Cowboys, and was in such a tough spot there when Emmitt Smith sat out those 2 games, and Derek had to come in. And there's the big fella. There's my man. I didn't know he was here.
Dapolito had plenty of time, and he throws a good ball, but this one goes out of bounds. Intended it for Johnny Morant, the split end from Parsippany Hills.
Spence, we got to get Gene over there to talk to Derek Lassick. That's one of my favorites of all time. He's the best high school running back I've covered in 12 years. I've seen some good ones.
That's pretty heavy.
Yeah, Eric McCoo, Rashidi Brown. I love Tyrell Dortch, but there's the guy right there. Played for Joe Casarella, went off to Alabama, was unbelievable in the Sugar Bowl, the MVP, and then went on to play for the Dallas Cowboys. Still has the big guns.
Yeah, he certainly does. He hadn't missed too many days in the weight room, has he?
What a nice kid.
Dapolito 6 of 8 for 50 yards, including a touchdown pass, and gives it to Dortch. Goes outside and very smartly takes it out of bounds, with the clock showing 16 seconds to go. And that's enough for a first down to the 32-33 yard line. So a first down for New Jersey, 16 seconds to go in the half. They've got time for a couple of plays.
Talking to Fred Stengel before the game. He's the Bergen Catholic coach, and they never played against Hoboken, different groups. And he said during the week, he went home and he was sitting down, and he said to his wife, "Oh man, if I could only have a kid like Tyrell Dortch, I would." They don't lose a lot at Bergen Catholic anyway, he said, but I would never lose a football game. This kid is the epitome of what a football player is all about.
Well, Dortch the lone setback now at 16 seconds to go. Dapolito airing it out, incomplete. Looked into the end zone and goes to Jared Jones as an incomplete pass. We're down to 7 seconds, and right now Dapolito will have to put it in the end zone. This is why statistics on any level can be deceiving. Dapolito's in a situation right now on that play and on this play. He's looking for a touchdown and not looking for 8 yards, 10 yards. And this play, he'll have to put it up.
I'll tell you, you know, it's an all-star game and you're thinking touchdown and the whole thing, but you get 7 or 8 yards there. You line up Joe Nolan from St. Peter's Prep. This is a kid who can bang it. 7 of 8 field goals this year. The only one he missed was from 52 yards away. So you take a shot maybe, but you know, these all-star games, everybody wants to put it in the end zone.
Basketball, give me the ball. I want to shoot in the all-star game. Don't see too many passing. Pressure, Dapolito trying to avoid it, and just shovels the ball out of bounds. That'll do it. First half will come to an end. The pressure came straight up the middle right there from Doug Goodwin, number 87. And some of the youngsters spend the moments as halftime begins, signing autographs for the kids in the crowd. And Chris Dapolito, with a pretty good first half right there, Mr. Dapolito did. And at halftime, it's New Jersey leading it by a score of 20-7. And let's check in with Gene.
Okay, Spencer, I'm with Coach Vince McInerney, and the team's up 13. 3 different quarterbacks have led to 3 touchdowns. So looks like you're dominating the line of scrimmage right now, both offensively and defensively. Is everything going to plan?
I think that really what we're doing right now is our offensive line is playing extremely well. And the whole defense is playing good. But our offensive line, as we speak, are getting off the ball real good, protecting the quarterback, and just blowing off the line of scrimmage. If we keep doing that, we'll be okay, but we can't let up. We just got to keep getting off the line of scrimmage, which we've been doing real good so far.
I hear the kids on the sideline saying 3 in a row, 3 in a row. What are you going to tell them in the locker room?
I'm going to tell them also, we can't get about 3 in a row yet.
It's only halftime. And last year we were winning 20-3. They came back and it was a hell of a game. But we were losing, I think, 23. So the game's far from over. Not over yet. We got another half to play. They got a great club, too. We got a good one. So it's only halftime. We still got to keep playing football.
2 more quarters left. Coach knows that, so it should be an interesting second half. Spencer, back to you.
Thank you.
Come on, let's go. Right.
The river in front of us, West Point, New York. A lot of people come to spend a weekend and take a look and just survey the history of the United States of America. The halftime of this Governor's Bowl game between the New Jersey All-Stars and the New York All-Stars. New Jersey looking for that three-peat. Sorry, Pat Riley. New Jersey leads it by a score of 20-7. And at halftime, the halftime report brought to you by St. Barnabas Healthcare System. Spencer Ross along with Mike Quick, Gene Gold along the sidelines, and there's not only a football game, but some awards being presented and scholarships this afternoon, Mike.
Well, Spencer, we have 89 football players that are all-stars in their own right.
Leading this game when Matt Lovecchio took it in from just 2 yards away to make it 6-0 in favor of New Jersey. The New York offense was never able to get on track, and they really had to look to their defense to help get them on the board later in the first quarter as Matt Lovecchio went back to pass for New Jersey.
Well, he got his team on the board the first time, and then he put New Jersey on the board, New York on the board. He knew when he let that go, he should have pulled it back in. There's Lawrence High's Nashawn Carter. This is a kid with 4.3 speed in the 40. So once he caught it, you knew where he was going. Point after good, 7-6, New York.
And the offense for New Jersey, Malcolm Postel, the key man in the game with 51 net yards, and he got the touchdown, which made it 12-7.
Oh, the state's leading scorer this year, 232 points, tacks on 6 more right there to give the Jersey guys the lead.
Chris Wispelway led that drive, and then Chris Stapolito from Matawan Regional, heading to Rutgers, came in to throw the pass for the touchdown.
And he stayed in the pocket. He checked to his second option, and that was Jared Mazzetta at 100 in Central. The big guy pulling it in as New York went up 20. New Jersey went up 20-7 at the break.
And Mazzetta with 3 receptions in that first half. You can see the New York offense really stagnant, unable to get on track. 9 passing yards, 51 on the ground, and New Jersey equally balanced, 238 total, 119 each way, and the turnovers have really hurt New York. And Adam Taliaferro, one of the key men, he stripped the ball for a fumble. He also came up with a big interception to stop a New York drive, and he, the big guy in the game as far as New Jersey is concerned, as we get ready for the start of the second half. And Brandon Bell stretching out right before the second half gets underway. Now, Mike, we've talked about how difficult it has been for New York, particularly in the second half against this team, because the numbers favor New Jersey. I mean, overall, the quality is better throughout the Garden State. Number ones are pretty much equal. A lot of good New York kids, but when you get down further in the bench with 33-17 as far as Division I players are concerned, and New York has to find something. Where are they going to find it? With Maldonado, perhaps still a question mark in the second half.
Well, Joe Casarella said this is the place where legends are made. He's got to find, hopefully he can come out of that locker room with a legend, a hero in the making, because right now things don't look good. You can't play from behind against this New Jersey defense, and because these guys, the offense, Dapolito and the boys have it rolling. You have guys like Darrell Reed who are just pinning their ears back and going to town, making plays. And it's going to be tough, Spence, for them to get back in this one. They have to score. They have to score fast to get confidence right away.
Dapolito, as we look at him, the youngster who's going to Rutgers, 6 of 10, 49 yards. And a couple of those misses came at the end of the first half when he was looking at the end zone in the final seconds. He had hit his first 4 in a row. His long pass was 26 yards. Some of the New York youngsters spending some time signing some autographs. Nate Lassick.
Sammy Maldonado, he's got his helmet on, so that's a good sign. And he's going to get back in there.
Where are they from?
Rob Petitti, offensive lineman.
Where are they at?
Yeah.
Tough guy, 6'7", 325. That's a football player right there. That's a mean-looking dude. Wouldn't want to get in his way. Headed off next year to play for Penn.
I wonder what would happen today. Here's a young man with his hair down long, and the great story of Dr. John Wooden and Bill Walton. When Walton came to school one year, had a beard, said, "I'm going to wear it." And he was an All-American. Dr. Wood said, "I hope you can find a place to play basketball." And he told him goodbye. You know, I mean, and Walton shaved the beard off.
Hey, we should be great if John Gallagher, our director, could get another shot at Petitti. That low angle thing looks an awful lot like Meatloaf. I'm looking at him. You know, Meatloaf was a big-time high school football player. Grew up in Dallas, Texas. Played nose guard. Did a story on him about 7 years ago. Coached the high school softball team up in Reading. There he goes. Mr. Meat, Mr. Loaf, Meatloaf. There you go. Yeah, a little bit. You know, I doubt he can sing like Meat.
Hey, Meat's a great baseball. It's a big
Big sports fan. You know, hopefully Rob will become successful at Pitt like Meatloaf did in his singing career.
Why, Meatloaf ever sang at Pitt?
Yeah, right. Exactly. No, that was one of the more enjoyable days I ever had. Spending the day with Meatloaf up at Joel Barlow High School in Reading, Connecticut. The guy is just intense. I mean, if you were a player coaching girls JV softball, 9th and 10th graders, and did he have them ready to go? He told me back then, I guess it was 7 years ago, that he was going to come back and he wanted to coach high school football at Barlow. So, is he still out there singing?
You might be interviewing him one of these days.
Yeah, I'll tell you, if Meat is coaching high school football, then I'll be out there definitely doing something on him.
Chris Smolin will kick it off for New Jersey as we get ready for the start of the second half. Back deep for New York. Ike Roberts on the right side of your screen. Here's Roberts with the football at the 15. Short kick. Roberts, good speed. Roberts at the 35, and Roberts over the 40 to the 41. Nice 26-yard return. And Laverne, you see Laverne pick him up off the ground. Boom, like he wasn't even there. And Roberts, 6 feet, 180 pounds. And the defensive back, John DeVerne, who's 5'9", 195, just lifts him right off the ground like he's a pile of feathers.
Well, DeVerne's a tough guy. We saw it in the first half, going around, throwing his body all over the place. There's Ike Roberts, has great speed, going to Maryland next year, and there's DeVerne coming in there. But Ike Roberts has to learn to make the easy catch. He drops a lot of easy balls, makes the tough catch. He's got to be able to pull him in at Maryland.
Karen Henry will start at quarterback in the second half here for New York, and Sam Maldonado. The good news is he's back in the lineup. The bad news is he gets but 3 yards in that play. And Maldonado roughing it up, getting roughed up a little bit by Dom Santoli. As you mentioned, is a pretty darn good wrestler, and he nearly wrestled Maldonado down to the mat.
We'll take another look. Did Sammy put it on the carpet? There's Pons trying to strip it away. Santoli coming in. Yeah, that was a fumble. Santoli in there trying to get it. Using his wrestling moves in there, trying to scrum around. 4th in the 215-pound weight class. Pons doing a nice job right there from Saddlebrook High School. 13 sacks this year for Saddlebrook.
Gain of 3, second down and 7 from the 45. New York down 20-7. Maldonado. He's got 5, he's got 7, and he's close to a first down. Sam was telling us that when we asked him, what do you look for in each play? He says 6 yards at least on every play. He averaged 13. No.
Here he is, a little ISO look on him. Great vision, and then he squares up, and there's the burst right there. Again, a guy with great speed, but doesn't overuse his speed. A lot of kids in high school that can fly will just try to get up to that line as fast as they can, and they don't let things develop. They don't let their offensive linemen get into the play. There you saw a great illustration of how Sammy Maldonado approaches the game.
A yard short of the first down, so it's a 3rd down and 1 in New Jersey territory at the 49. So give it to Sam. But Sam is not going anywhere as he is taken down from behind on a great defensive play by Rich Stallone, number 55, who played at St. Joe's in Montvale. And he's on his way to the University of Maine. What a great defensive play.
Well, he was well schooled. Tony Karsich, one of the best coaches in the state of New Jersey, and Richie Stallone coming flying in there. You know, he got his season off to a great start this year. They're playing St. Anthony's of Long Island out in Huntington Station, Long Island. And Big Rich grabs a fumble, goes 67 yards for the touchdown, watching him chug in there. And then they got Unverzat for some unsportsmanlike conduct, but Stallone headed off. He's a black bear next year for the University of Maine up in Orono.
And Sean Brophy, who started at that nose position, out of the lineup now. Ankle injury. They've got him in a temporary cast, so we're going to see a lot of Rich Stallone here in the second half. And a penalty brings the ball back all the way to the 34-yard line. It'll be a 4th down. On the penalty, the unsportsmanlike penalty, so we'll get a kick right here. Booting it away for New York is Chris Honorado. And out of bounds it'll go at the 25-yard line.
Honorado last week, Spence, in the Boomer Esiason Outback Steakhouse Challenge, hit a 42-yard field goal for Long Island. That came off the heels of an Eddie Lobo interception after Ike Roberts dropped the ball for New York City. So he can bang it away. Going to play for Joe Gardy next year at Hofstra. What a job Gardy and his staff did again this year throughout the Tri-State. They had 8 players from last week's game coming to play. This week they have 3 more players. That's a big-time Division I AA program out there in Hempstead, New York.
Yeah, Joe wanted the best. I mean, just spending a day with Joe Gardy, a lot of fun. On first down right here for New Jersey, and going nowhere is Tyrell Dortch. You see a stop at the line of scrimmage. New Jersey leads it by a score of 20-7, and the Governor's Bowl would like to thank the following for their contributions to today's game. The National Football League, Outback Steakhouse. He had lunch on the Outback at Thursday afternoon at practice at Rutgers.
Chowing down.
Beautiful spread. Chase Bank. I'd like to thank them for donating to the Mike Quick Scholarship Fund. No, Chase Bank and the Downtown Athletic Club. Of course, the sponsors of the Heisman Trophy.
And Chase sponsors our weekly Players of the Week on the high school show. Andy Parton and his guys, great guys at Chase Bank.
So here's Lovecchio back in the lineup at quarterback, and Lovecchio taken down. A loss in the play back at the 23. And he's kind of lucky he's getting up, because that leg of his, that right leg of his, looked like it was pinned underneath him as his body went back.
And you don't want your leg pinned under 6'1", 290-pound Jarrell Carroll out of Wagner High School. Look at that speed.
Ooh.
There you saw.
He's lucky nobody came down in the leg.
He sure is. You see 3 big guys chasing Matt, and Carroll diving, pulling him down. He is undecided. Boy, he's lucky. Undecided as Bob Davies breathed a sigh of relief, the Notre Dame head coach.
3rd down, 14 now. Lovecchio out of the shotgun. All the time in the world. He's got his man. Won't be enough for a first down, though. Johnny Moran on the reception. And New Jersey will have to kick it away. So New York comes up strong on their first defensive stance. They'll get the football back. And in pretty good field position, trailing by a score of 20-7.
That was a good job by Mike Gannett out of Troy High School. What a program they have out of Section 2. Played in the state championship 4 years, staying with his man, just dragging across the field. He'll play next year right in his own backyard. He'll go from Troy High School to Albany State. Well, you see that happen sometimes in all-star games like these, Spence, especially on specialty teams. A lot of these guys aren't used to playing specialties during the high school season. That's the only time they get a break. That time, too many men on the field.
Second time we've had that situation. Joe Nolan will be the man kicking the ball away for New Jersey.
Actually, not too many guys, just 2. It almost ended up being too few guys. They a little confusion, so New Jersey taking a timeout. Ishmael Medley, the young linebacker out of Elizabeth High School, who'll go to Hunt School next year, ran off the field. That young man's going to head off to Ohio State. They're going to put him in the weight room, and the next time you see this kid on TV, he'll probably be about 30 pounds heavier, just wreaking havoc in the Big Ten.
He's 6'4", he's 230 pounds. In case you just joined us, his name is Will Smith. If you have been with us throughout the game, as we look at Joe Nolan, you've heard Will Smith's name quite often.
Fresh Prince of Defense.
Hey, that's nice. Fair catch called very smartly. Back there by Dan McGrath, youngster from Webster Central High School. He was on his way to Fordham. Let's check in with Gene on the sidelines. Gene?
Thank you, Spencer. The man responsible for all the doctors on the sidelines and trainers is Dr. Daniel Fox. And give us an idea of who is on the sidelines here today and for the past week taking care of the players and making sure they don't get hurt.
Thanks. We have a team of doctors, orthopedic surgeons, sports medicine doctors, chiropractors, podiatrists, internists, a whole slew of about 11 doctors from Jersey and one from New York who are volunteering their time to take care of the players both at the practice this whole past week at Rutgers and today at today's game.
How'd you get involved with the Governor's Bowl?
A number of the coaches, specifically Coach Lou Versilla, who's the I believe president of the Governor's Bowl, had asked myself if I wanted to get involved with this game, and I heard about the game and I said absolutely. The years past, I used to be a doctor with the North-South game for New Jersey, and when I heard I had the opportunity to get involved with this game, I jumped on it.
Well, everybody thanks Dr. Daniel Fox and all the great medical physicians on the sideline during the week, taking care of the players. Well, great job, Daniel Fox.
Thank you.
Back to you, Spencer.
Okay, Gene, second down as Karen Stevens was hit behind the line of scrimmage on first down. They go to Maldonado on second. He doesn't get much. And suddenly this game has turned into a defensive battle. 9:15 to go third quarter. Each team has been stopped in its only possession of the second half. But when we say it's turned into a defensive battle, the New Jersey defense has done the job all game long. They've limited New York to about 70 yards thus far in this game.
Well, Spence, the last two plays, really impressed with Chuck McQuaid, the 5'11", 200-pounder out of West Milford High School, headed to Purdue next year. That time he forced Maldonado to cut back where he had help from his teammates, and then before running Karan Henry down. He's looked real good, McQuaid, out of West Milford.
On third down, a youngster from Brooklyn Tech High School finds Andrew Fontenette.
McQuaid again.
First down, yeah.
You see the close time he had there?
The
Great
first play
time
against Henry, when Gene was the doctor, the first play against Henry was a marvelous open field tackle.
Sensational. Again, what got it started was Richie Stallone. He burst in off the nose guard position, but look at the break time. Respecting him, knowing down and distance, and then when he saw the ball, he went and he closed. Good-looking player, Chuck McQuaid.
So once again, Nolan will have to kick the ball away. Chris Honorado will have to kick the ball away. Jackson fumbles the football, and it's picked up by New Jersey. They're able to come up with it. Good reaction by Nathan Jones to save New Jersey from a disaster right there.
That's a big play by Nathan Jones. Tyshawn Jackson had it in his hands, just dropped it. Nathan Jones did the smart thing there too. He's smelling his own end zone. He just jumps right on it.
Hard line on first down. And on first down, we've got 7:25 to go here in this third quarter. Postel the key in that first half with 51 yards rushing, including a 6-yard run for a touchdown as the sun begins to nestle behind the press box here. Mikey Stady, Blake Field, named for the Colonel, led Army to the #1 position during the 40s in the nation. This time the ball goes to the fullback, Mike Barr, and Carr goes straight up the middle. And that should be enough for a first down. So the clock will stop, the chains will move. Mike Carr on his way to the University of Pennsylvania. Pretty good wrestler, had 100 career victories in the 215-pound class.
State champion this year in that 215-pound weight class. 37-0, 28 takedowns, full school records, and he's an honor roll student. You have to be on the honor roll, I guess, to be a Quaker. Yeah.
Going to the University of Pennsylvania. Here's Postel trying to make something happen. We got a flag in the play. As Postel makes a little bit happen, getting it up to the 26-yard line, but you can be sure we're going to have a holding penalty right here against New Jersey. But he saw some good open field running there by Postel.
He's got skills, Fred Astaire feet, and the great thing is when he's dancing, he's still going north-south. He's none of this east-west stuff. Here you see getting out there behind Carr and then cutting it back. Great feet, great vision. But
that's such a good point, Mike. There are so many guys who do the fancy footwork, and and they're not heading upfield. And he does as he makes those great dance moves.
Yeah, he's been really impressive. I'd say that the two kids that have really impressed me the most so far for New Jersey in this game, Dapolito and Postel.
Nice play by Lavecchio to keep that one from getting away, but he is trapped back there by guess who? Will Smith, number 81, who climbs over Ryan Krug to get at the quarterback, Matt Lavecchio.
Well, he's an animal. 16 sacks this year, 60 for his career. Matt does a good job just holding on to it. But Will Smith, Matt does a good job staying out of that end zone too. But there he is, stand-up defensive end, played linebacker for Proctor High School, and he just comes flying in. Boy, I tell you, he is going to be sensational. He doesn't, I guess, really doesn't know the game a lot right now. Is still learning the game. Once he learns it, he is going to be unreal.
Vecchio handing it off, and there's a big-time run by Tyrell Dortch. Dortch still in his feet. He's at the 40. He's in midfield. Tyrell Dortch is going to go 98 yards for a touchdown for New Jersey to give them a 26-7 lead. Hello, Hoboken.
Well, do you remember Thursday Night Football when Tony Dorsett did that for the Cowboys out of his own end zone? I think it was 99 yards. That one's 98. You see why this kid went 34-1 in his 3 years as a starter for Hoboken High School. The burst, the balance, the acceleration, he has it all. Here it is, just a simple handoff. Gets into the middle, cuts it back, working the football, and here's where it's good. The balance, the power, and boom, gone. Just too fast.
And the man who he broke the last tackle against is the guy we've talked about all game long for the marvelous job he's done. He broke away from Dave Snyder. 98 yards, extra point is up. Nice ball, and it's good, and it's now a 27-7 lead. So instead of New York getting the football back, perhaps in good field position, Tyrell Dortch comes up with the biggie. 98 yards for a touchdown, and New Jersey has increased its lead now to 27-7 with 5:10 to go in the third quarter.
And what Mr. Dortch will do, he'll pick up the telephone and he'll call his good buddy Keon Walker, who played for Hoboken High School, and he'll say, Keon, you used to have the longest run in Governor Bowl history when he went 53 yards, not for a touchdown 2 years ago. This one about 40 more, and for 6. Mr. Walker, who I says the best one that's come out of Hoboken High School of all the greats, now has got himself in the Governor's Bowl record book, and he's got himself around Sheen Golda down on the field.
Mike, you didn't hear his name much in the first half, which was a surprise, but guess what? In the third quarter, 98 yards, Tyrell Dortch showing why he's going to Michigan State next year. Talk about the run, Tyrell.
Well, the coach called ISO left, and defense guys heard it. But I started hearing him screaming, watch the ISO, so I was like, hey, they know the play, so I might as well go smack them while they trying to smack me. So I couldn't get in there. My offensive line's great blocks, and the fullback too. I just saw a hole hit it, and then of course you got to break a couple of tackles. That's a Hoboken rule. And I just hit the sideline and just made it a race.
Think the final dagger in the heart to New York right there?
Nah, I think we won about 3 more. We were trying to get 50. That's our goal.
Well, he wants to add some more yards, maybe a couple more touchdowns. Tyrell Dortch, 98 yards for the touchdown, 27-7 New Jersey. Spencer, back to you.
Okay, Nate Lazick on the return, but that's the Hoboken rule, huh?
Well, and I tell you, Ed Stinson runs such a strict program out there. Season ends, week off, back in the weight room, and you can see this is a kid that squats 700 pounds, but he's a kid that every senior is allowed to address the team before their final game. Has gaudy stats, touchdowns, yards, the whole bit. Tells the guys, I want you to remember me for what I will do tomorrow in the state championship. He has that much confidence in his game, and believe me, they'll remember him, because in his final high school game in a 27-7 win in the Section 1 Class 3 championship against Wayne Hills, 288 yards on 33 carries, 4 touchdowns. 3 of those touchdowns coming in the second half, where he ran for 182 yards. He is simply, and I've said this, and this is no slight on Sammy Maldonado, if you told me I could take one player from this game, and I'm a college coach, I'd take Tyrell Dortch.
High praise coming from Mike Quick. Second down and 10. And a handoff and a fumble, and the ball is recovered by New Jersey.
Santoli pulling it in. dyed his hair blonde, didn't even know who he was this week at practice, and running around making plays like he always does for Fred Stengel.
Trevor Dimmy bobbling the ball away, and Santoli backing up Darrell Reed today, who had a big impression in the first half. Santoli with a big fumble recovery here.
Well, he's a guy in games that just makes plays. I'm going to give you a sense of what he's all about against Holy Cross in the Parochial 4 state semifinals in a game that Bergen Catholic won by 4. In the game, 9.5 tackles, 2 sacks, a fumble, a forced fumble, blocked a punt that led to a touchdown, and blocked an extra point. He was everywhere.
Back in at quarterback, Chris Wispelway, and he breaks away. He's able to get the ball off to Postel. Postel's back to the line of scrimmage. Postel's still on his feet, and he makes a 6-yard gain out of it, down to the 25-yard line. Wispelway showing good speed. The youngster on his way to Duke.
Well, and what I like about that play so much is Wispelway makes something out of what could have been terrible, but the 2 guys chasing him. You have Will Smith, Proctor High School, going to Ohio State, and you have Doug Goodwin, Holy Trinity, 6'3", 280, going to Boston College. Both guys will stay when the play. Now, a lot of guys are going to give up right here, but Postel catches the ball. Watch 81 come flying into your picture. He's still going down the field. You got to love that. Guys that, I mean, this guy is everywhere.
He was after the quarterback, and then he's 20 yards downfield.
He's clearly the most impressive defensive player on the field right now. There's Doug Goodwin, sensational last week, but I can't say enough about big Will Smith.
And Wispelway calls a timeout, doesn't like what he sees from the New York defense. With 3:09 to go in this third quarter, New Jersey, Tyrell Dortch with a 98-yard run from scrimmage, the only score thus far here in the second half. And good look at Will Smith. Breathe a little heavy, but these youngsters in good shape. They spent a great week at Rutgers practicing and preparing for this game. And again, Mike, just going back over what we discussed earlier, if this were basketball and any other sport, you would have the coaches saying, these kids ain't going to play in this game. They're not going to be playing in this game. But football, the last competitive game these youngsters played in was last fall. For most of them, the next competitive game will not come till next fall. We're talking almost 2 years without playing a real football game. So, hey, we not only would like you to play in this game, we encourage you to play in this game. From the Joe Paternos to just about every coach in the nation.
He's had some great ones. Joe Casarella, 169 wins, just 20 losses for the Red Raiders of North Rockland.
Wide open down the left side is Jared Jones, and Jared Jones will set up a goal to go for New Jersey. Wispelway, who directed one of the touchdown drives, the one that was put in the end zone by Postel, right here. Good drop, takes his time.
Good job, Postel, giving Wispelway some credit. Here he goes out to Jared Jones, and that's what New Jersey knew they had. They knew they had the skill guys on the wideouts to go against the corners and the safeties of New York, and New York knew it too. They said, boy, we think we can stand up against them. But in this quarter, and remember, 98 of those yards belong to Mr. Dortch.
Well, Postel will try and get the final 2 right here. Postel will get the final 2 with his second touchdown of the game. Malcolm Postel, Keyport High School, heading to the University of Pittsburgh. First cousin to #1 draft choice of the New York Knickerbockers out of St. John's, LeVar Postel. Malcolm has his second TD, and New Jersey has increased the lead to 33-7 with 2:25 to go in this third quarter.
Talked about his feet. Watch here. He's going left. He plants him, and he brings it back home. Great vision. Great job that time by Badinskak against Doug Goodwin. That's a nice-looking block by the 6'4", 250-pound tight end who's headed off to Boston, headed off to Notre Dame next year.
And Chris Smolin puts over the extra point. Straightaway kicker makes it 34-7 in favor of New Jersey. New Jersey trailed in this game 7-6, and so they have rattled off 28 unanswered points after falling behind. They put the first score on the board, and New York came back on the interception. A 36-yard return to give them the lead in the first quarter by Mashawn Carter, but since then it's been all New Jersey.
Well, again, we can't talk about it enough. It's a state that I think is the 7th most recruited state by Division I and 1AA colleges in the country. And when you look at the state, it's not a big state. there's a lot of schools that play football. 308 schools play high school football in New Jersey, but as far as state, it's not that big. I mean, they're right up there with the Ohios, the Pennsylvanias, the Californias, the Texases. You know, they have some big-time talent in this state.
3 plays, 31 yards, and the big one, the 22-yard pass from Wispelway to Jared Jones. And Postel going in from the 2. As Spaulding gets set to kick it off.
Yeah, Jersey down here.
Matt Cateo and Joe West are back deep. This is Cateo. He's at the 30. Just unable to break away. Taken down at the 33-yard line by Dom Santoli, who continues to impress in this game. And let's check in with Gene on the sidelines. Gene, what's happening?
Spencer, Chris Wispelway has been out there for 2 of New Jersey's 5 touchdowns. And talk about the experience of playing in this game, Chris. You're out there with a couple other great quarterbacks from New Jersey. You know, this year it's been a great quarterback year for the state. So what has it been like playing in this Governor's Bowl?
It's just fun playing with all the talented players that we have on this offense. I mean, we just have so many weapons to go to. I mean, the running game is unbelievable, and we can just throw to anybody on the wide receiver squad. So, I mean, so me, Matt, and Chris just having fun going out there and throwing the ball.
Coach talked about it at halftime that the line is doing a heck of a job out there, you know, for the running backs and the quarterbacks. So give them a little credit, I guess.
Yeah, the line. I mean, they're moving the ball. They're moving their guys around. I mean, this is a good defensive line by the New York team, and they're just opening up the holes for Tyrell and Malcolm. I mean, they're just keeping them off me, Matt, and Chris. So just doing a heck of a job.
Good job out there. Chris showing that they can play some football in Pequannock. Back to you, Spencer.
Yeah, young man is on his way to Duke. And he has led his team to 2 scoring drives here. On first down, Stevens' pass was bobbled away by Joe West, who started running with the football before he caught it.
Yeah, he's a running back from Lackawanna High School. He's not used to catching the football.
On second down, here's Stevens out of the shotgun. Stevens, a quarterback who can run, but he's not going anywhere. As he is taken down once again, Adam Taliaferro. What a game he has had. A big interception, a strip of a ball for a fumble to take it away. And right here, a nice open field tackle. It'll bring up a second down and 10. No gain on the play.
I mean, he's one of these guys who put up great numbers offensively in high school, over 3,000 career yards. Most of those guys, when they go to college, they're begging. Oh, come on, coach, I want to run the football. He's like, yeah, hey, forget it, man. I'm happy. Let me go out and play some defense and just put the wood on some people. He doesn't want to get banged around anymore.
As we said earlier, broken collarbone sophomore.
We got Bobby Rivers. We got Bobby
Rivers, a senior. What was the word? Dangerous.
He's dangerous now in that secondary for receivers coming across the middle.
On his way to Penn State. Second down and 12. Stevens again. At a shotgun. That ball deflected and knocked away, and it goes incomplete. And the man who got his hands on it, our old friend Darrell Reed, popped that ball up into the air and caused the incompletion.
You know what I like about that? A lot of times, as soon as the ball's deflected, take a shot at that receiver, and that's what Jonathan Robinson did. He made the play, but he knew he could run through his back to get to the football. Hey, and you expect that from Jonathan Robinson, Memorial High School out of West New York. You'll see him. He's playing free safety. They went 10-1 this year. Best record in school history. There he is right there, number 30. Yeah, go ahead. Push him in the back. It's a free ball. You can do whatever you want. But you know what? You expect that from a kid that was ranked number 2 in a class of over 300 kids going to Penn next year. So John Robinson, great year for Memorial out of West New York.
Joe Nolan will kick it away, and we're going to get our first look at Alan Taliaferro trying to return a kick right here. He's done everything else. Waited till the last minute, thought he got a hole, and he finds a little bit of room and gets up to the 20, gets 3 yards on the return before he is stopped in the play by Quinn Walton. He was just eyeing the guys coming down the field, looking when can I pick it up and when can I get an angle, and he very nearly found that hole. Adam Taliaferro. That's a name. The Jets had a quarterback named Mike, spelled it the same way, pronounced it Taliaferro. Many years ago, the Baltimore Colts had a great running back named George Taliaferro. They asked Adam, about, he said, people have asked me that. Am I related to him? Not Mike, George. And there's some people who remember George Taliaferro. Actually, originally played for the old New York Yankees. On first down, and right up the middle goes Mike Carr. Check it out, it's Corey Brown with his first carry of the game. So Corey Brown out of Trenton High School on the carry. He's been working out of the flanker position most of the afternoon.
Next year he'll work out of Hempstead at Nassau Community College. What a great community college program they run there. I think John Anselmo is still the head coach there. I know he went down to Georgia Tech for a while, but I think he's back up there, and that is a hotbed. A lot of the colleges come flying through there to look for that quick fix.
Second down and 5 as the third quarter comes to an end here at West Point, and it's been all New Jersey. The Garden Staters lead it by 27. Fourth quarter, West Point, New York, home of the United States Military Academy. Some of the great architecture on the campus here. I guess we do call it a campus or a compound. On first down, once again, Will comes in. Will Smith stopping Corey Brown in the backfield for a loss of a couple of yards. He just came flying in on the right side.
Spence, they don't let the media vote for the MVPs in this game. They'll give one both offensive and defense to each state.
Let me give you my vote.
I'll tell you right now, if these coaches don't pick Will Smith, they should never be allowed to coach another high school.
How about New Jersey?
That's a tough call.
Taliaferro?
Defensively?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, defensively.
Yeah.
Offensively, it's a coin toss between so many.
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough. Defensively, he's been good. Taliaferro's been real good.
Corey Brown remains the running back now on third down. Good defensive stance right there as Mike Carr made the catch. Dave Snyder came up to make a real good stop. So New Jersey will have to kick it away. New Jersey here in the second half with 2 scores. One of them, Tyrell Dortch going 98 yards for a touchdown, and then following a fumble from the 31-yard line. They decided to go 31 yards. Postel went in from 2 yards away.
Where's Corey?
And back deep to return the kick right here for New York. Ike Roberts and Matt Cateo. This is Cateo wisely calling a fair catch and bobbled the ball, and it's picked up by New Jersey. Taliaferro into the end zone for a touchdown. You think he's going to be the MVP?
Give it to him. Give it to him.
Right spot, right time, but getting there is half the story. Adam Taliaferro, an interception. Are they taking it away? They say the ball was dead.
That's a muff punt, right? In high school football, you can't advance a muff punt. But you know what? He's still got another recovery.
That's right. That's a second fumble recovery. The first one he was responsible for as he stripped the ball away from the running back. And right here, Cateo just bobbled it away.
Yeah, never caught it clean. Had he caught that ball, then taken a step or two, been hit and fumbled, the touchdown would count. But you can't advance the muff. Never had a good grab on it. But that's a kid who knows how to get to the end zone.
And you know what I like? Just drop the ball off.
That's it. Well, you know what? Let's go back to Keon Walker, too. Guy goes 98 yards, and in today's way of kids playing the game and even adults playing the game, just took the ball and gave it to the official. Hey, I've been here 33 times this year, 34. You know what? Take the ball. I wish more kids, I wish more college guys, and wish more pros would do that.
On first down, once again, they go to Corey Brown. And Corey Brown trying to skirt around the outside, maybe gets a yard, maybe 2. New Jersey has been dominant in this one. We have 13 minutes to go. Governor Whitman sitting back in Trenton. I'd be saying to myself, well, I was right. Well, at least at this point, it looks like 3 in a row, the three-peat for the New Jersey youngsters. Just watching these kids go at it, because every kid out here right now, to them, this game isn't over. This game is still a game. It's still very important to them, each and every carry. You take a look at that young man, Corey Brown. What a tremendous facial resemblance to an old friend of mine, Bruce Harper, New York Jets, who's just recovering from surgery, by the way, this week, out at Lenox Hill Hospital in New York. Ball thrown right over the middle, and a completed pass that time.
A couple of Bergen County boys, Lavecchio to Grant Adams.
Well, we've seen Adams defensively, offensively. Want to see him return a kick, though, right? He's pretty good at that.
Oh, yeah, he can return them. He had 8 punt returns for touchdowns in his career, 2 kickoff returns. Recruited by Al Golden to go up to Boston College next year. What a job he does recruiting. Unfortunately for Boston College, Al Golden's at Penn State, so that's good news for Joe Paterno, one of his former players, Al Golden.
And Lavecchio once again hands it off to Corey Brown, and Corey Brown on first down picks up a couple of yards. We're down to 11:40 to go. Will Smith on the sidelines. This team may be down 34-7. And while it is a team game, Will Smith's going to go home tonight and say, hey, I did pretty well. And you certainly did, young man.
Well, the motor's always running. You have to love that. This is a guy when the play, most guys are stopping when the play runs away from them. He's still going. You have to love that.
Lavecchio gives to Corey Brown again. Looks for a block, can't get it up the middle. And a good defensive stance right there. Chris Harris was right there at Arapahoe High School on his way to the University of Massachusetts in Amherst, number 68, to make the good tackle, waist high. And Corey Brown, who will be playing at Valley Forge Junior College.
Yeah, pretty fair player played there by the name of Mr. Eddie George before he went on to Ohio State.
3rd down and 6 coming up. Right behind us, the tailgating has begun. They've already begun cooking. It smells very good, I'll tell you. We head down there right after. They have some great tailgate parties here at West Point. Here's Lavecchio looking to the end zone and batted away nicely. John DeVerne was there, number 29, to step in front of Isaac Irby, number 23. And DeVerne is on his way to Alfred, an honor roll student who runs the 4.6 and 40 at 5'9", 195 pounds. Youngster from Rochester, New York, with a good defensive play.
Well, use the sidelines as an ally right here. He just made sure that Irby ran out of room. And this is a guy that didn't run out of room much. South Jersey record this year, 1,254 yards on 76 receptions for his career. Irby, 3,202 yards and 55 touchdowns as a receiver. Headed off to West Virginia next year. Hopefully they can have somebody and get him the football.
4th down. Lavecchio sidesteps a tackle. That's a tough angle to throw on, and it goes to an incomplete pass. DeVerne was there once again to bat the ball away. So New Jersey will give up the football. This drive began back at their at the 29, at the 35-yard line.
Lavecchio, sorry, Spence. Lavecchio, one of 3 Notre Dame-bound players in this game. And one of the things about All-Star games, you always want to know where they're headed. And Paul Pasqualone has done a great job. We go 8 to Syracuse. Really, it's 7. Snyder's going to play lacrosse for the national champion. Rutgers getting 5. Boston College, we talked about Al Golden. What a great recruiter in New York and New Jersey for BC. He's at Penn State now. You see Penn State got 4 guys. UConn, Randy Edsel, the new football coach in his 2nd year up there as they go Division I. Joe Gardy, Pitt, and we mentioned Notre Dame.
Here's Maldonado, who's on his way to Ohio State. And Maldonado gets himself some nice yardage, enough perhaps for a 1st down, depending on where they mark it. Gain of 9, nearly 10 yards. Maldonado, who suffered what they said was a slight knee injury in the 1st half, back in the lineup. But it's a nice run.
You see there's the cutback ability twice. Cuts to his right, cuts to his left, and he's looking good there. You know, at the end of this game, people may say, oh, Sammy Maldonado didn't run for 150 or 200 yards. You've seen what he can do in this game. He will be fine at Ohio State. There's no question about it. Oh, again, over 7,500 career yards. If we get a chance, we should show that again, because it's just mind-boggling, his stat page, because it's beyond belief.
Well, he threw a pass for a touchdown during the scrimmage that I watched this week, and he goes deep on this one, and it's just bobbled away at the last possible second by Joe West. He didn't get as much in the ball as we saw at the scrimmage this week. He took the pitch out, went right, and he threw a 60-yarder downfield for a touchdown. This time the ball to West, who's the man who caught the ball last time, and West just couldn't hold on to him.
Well, Maldonado, he didn't have to throw it much this year. They were usually up by 5 touchdowns at the half, but this is Harrison High School to Lackawanna High School. Joe West, they played in the state championship game, a game that Sammy's team, the Huskies of Harrison, won by 2. And again, take a look. Smoking Sammy Maldonado. His senior year is a career for most people, maybe for 2 people. 3,235 yards, 38 touchdowns. Those are state records. The 7,581 yards, that's 19th best in American high school football history. Only 19 people have ever run for that many yards. It's mind-boggling, and 99 touchdowns. There are a lot of people in Class B in the state of New York are glad that guy is a Buckeye now.
Now, when you talk about the 38 touchdowns, that's 12 games. Many of them were runaways for Harrison. Many of them were games when Sam didn't play much more than half.
Spence, listen to this, okay? In the state championship, in 3 state playoff games, ran for over 1,000 yards and 14 touchdowns. First state, the quarterfinals, 355 yards, 6 touchdowns. Next game, 361 and 5. And in the championship, he was just spectacular with over 280 yards and 3 touchdowns.
And Stevens throwing to Ike Roberts here. That's Karen Henry back in the lineup. Maldonado now on the sidelines. Sam with 10 carries for 45 yards this afternoon. We're down to 8 minutes to go here in this 4th quarter. And it's all New Jersey. They lead 34-7. They put 14 on the board here in the second half to 0 for New York.
Football in Westchester County will definitely be different this year. There's no
How many times you get to see him play this through his career?
In his career, and I probably saw him 4 times in person, a lot on tape.
Karen Henry has the ball knocked away and picked up, and it's going to be taken into the end zone for a touchdown by Justin Hines. But the man who made it happen was Adam Lang at Cresco High School, and Henry never saw him coming.
Well, Justin Hines, another one of those guys that's headed up to Boston College next year. There's 4 in this game. And boy, I tell you, if you're the governor, maybe what Whitman said a year ago is true. They're putting a whooping on him now. That's a big-time football player right there. Played for Joe Caroni at Piscataway High School. Here's Adam Lang, Cresskill, unmolested, just coming flying in and pulls it away from Henry. And Justin Hines making like a shortstop, getting into the end zone, like his buddy Tyshawn Jackson did all year for Piscataway High School.
Adam Lang goes on his way to the University of West Virginia, and Hines again to BC, and here's Small with the extra point, and it's good. 41-7 in favor of New Jersey with 7:22 to go here in this 4th quarter of play. And again, remember, looking back in this game, it was New York with a 7-6 lead, and Hines just never hesitating, picking it up and taking it in. A lineman's dream. Here, all New Jersey, they lead it 41-7. Justin Hines taking it into the end zone on the fumble recovery. Let's check in with Gene.
Spencer, the defense for New Jersey has done a great job all day. They have not given up an offensive touchdown. The 7 points coming from New York on an interception return. Justin Hines, 6'5", just picked up a fumble, ran it in for a touchdown. I'll tell you what, defensive players don't get a chance to score that much, and when you do, it must be a great feeling.
Yeah, it's a great feeling, but it's also a great feeling knowing that your teammates helped you out. I mean, number 8, he caused the strip. And it's something I've been dreaming about for a long time. It's a defensive lineman's dream, a defensive player's dream. And it happened. So now we got to put some more points on the board.
Do you think you dominate New York this much so far?
Do I think we have dominated them? Yeah, we obviously have. They're a tough team. They're not easy to be dominant. They're not going down without a fight. But, you know, New Jersey's here to stay. We need to let everybody know we have some best talent around the country.
Well, they're showing it with 7:22 left, up 41-7. Spencer, back to you.
Okay, on the kickoff, Timmy has it at the 15. Timmy A lot of east-west stuff, trying to find some room up to the 27 and the 30-yard line before he's taken. I find it interesting when you play the All-Star game, Justin Hines will refer to his teammate as number 8.
Yeah.
Because you didn't sure the guy's name is. Number 8 made the play. His name is Lang.
Yeah. Didn't know about the 6'3", 220-pounder who's headed off to West Virginia next year by way of Cresskill High School.
Adam Lang is a man who batted the ball away. Trevor Dimmy will be playing his high school ball at Hofstra. Sleepy Hollow High School, a member of the 4x100 state relay championship team. He's only 5'7", weighs 190 pounds, and he rushed for almost 1,500 yards and 26 touchdowns this season.
Dad played on the undefeated Headless Horseman team of 1967, so that's got to be great for Pops to see his son come through and have such a special career.
First down for New York, and the pitch out goes to Quinwall. And Walt taken down on the play after a gain of 2, perhaps 3 yards. Joe Weiss on his way to Princeton comes up with the stop. You talk about the colleges, but let's talk about some of the high schools who are putting some of these youngsters into the finest universities in the nation.
Well, there you have it. Bergen Catholic with 3 young men in this game, and Scotch Plains, Hunterdon Central with 2 guys each. And again, look, the top thing says it all, and that's why it's a 41-7 score. 46 players, 33 to Division I schools, 8 going to 1AA schools. And there you see the New York representation, Webster High School, who many, and they're way up there, so I never saw them play. Many people up there say we're one of the greatest high school football teams ever in the state of New York. Beat Troy this year, beat them pretty good in the state championship, the AA championship. Harrison High School with 3 guys represented in this game. They were the Class B champs. Canandaigua, 2 guys. They're the Class A champs. So it's no surprise when you win, you have good players. These coaches, you know, it takes a lot. And I truly believe high school coaches are some of the most special guys in the world because they mold all this talent. And it helps to have the talent.
It helps to have a program that begins really on the youth level. You know, 6, 7, 8, 9-year-old kids. You see a lot of it throughout the nation. In Texas, for example, one of the more famous schools there. As we watch Stevens throw himself an interception and set up a Taliaferro touchdown, his second of the game. Well, his first of the game. They called the first one back. But Adam Taliaferro, we don't get a vote up here. It's got to be the defensive player of the game. He's had 2 interceptions. He's had 2 fumble recoveries. Had some bone-crushing tackles. And right here, he makes it 47-7.
Well, he's had 4 interceptions this season. He did for Eastern High School. He had number 5 earlier and number 6. That's a big one because he gets it into the end zone. This year as a running back, found the end zone 63 times. He's just a player. 63 touchdowns for his career for Eastern High School. Wow, what a game.
Taliaferro with his second touchdown. And the 6th turnover of the game, and the extra point is good by Smallin. It makes it 48-7. The high school I was talking about when Taliaferro made the interception in Texas, Premian High School. They have turned out state champions in one of the great states, and very few Division I players. It's just the program itself that develops these kids to play on a team level.
And if you're a football fan, a high school football fan, you got to read the book Friday Night Lights. I'll probably have to read it to Gene because I don't know if he can read, but he can talk, and he's down on the sidelines.
Okay, Gino.
Thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate that. I'll tell you what, you call this kid a player. He is a player, and Penn State is getting a great player, Adam Taliaferro. The early votes might be in. You could be MVP, but I'm not going to say that.
He is MVP.
2 interceptions, 1 for a touchdown, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery. The defense has played great. Their second touchdown. You got to feel good going into this one.
Yeah, definitely. Our defense everybody came to play. Offense, defense. We just came out here with one thing in mind, just trying to get a shutout. And unfortunately, they scored them 7 points, but we did a great job out here today.
What's it been like for you playing with all these great all-stars from New Jersey?
It's a whole new experience. I got to meet a lot of people this week at practice. We just meshed real well, and I mean, I'm going to miss them. Just from this week, I became real great friends with some of these people, but this is great. I never thought I'd be like this, but we're happy with it.
I know you were a big-time offensive player over there at Easton. When you go to Penn State, what's the position going to be?
I'll be playing corner, so that's why I came out here to practice a little bit because I'm leaving up there on Monday. All right, so I just came out here to practice, and hopefully I can do the same thing once I get up there.
Well, Spencer, he's shown what he could do at the cornerback position. Back to you.
He certainly has. Big plays throughout the game. When this was still a battle and still a contest, he kept New York off the board when they had a chance to take the lead with that strip when New York was on the move and had a chance to regain the lead. Instead, New Jersey got the ball back, and New Jersey put another score on the board and led it by a score of 12-7. And right here, an interception for a touchdown, another interception earlier in the game, and another fumble recovery. So he's done it all today for New Jersey. 48-7 is the score. 5:12 remaining. Just getting back to that's a book that every sports fan. There are a lot of negative aspects to the story itself, but Friday Night Lights is the name of the book, and it's about the story of high school football in the state of Texas. Sam Maldonado is done for the day. 10 carries, 45 yards. He's got to work on his body a little. I mean, he's, Sam, 6'2", 220 pounds. And if you meet his folks, they're smallish people. They're not anywhere near Sam's size. But let me tell you something. The pride they have for this young man and the happiness that he has generated in the Maldonado family. They just love watching the kid play and are so happy and proud of what he's done. And on the return here, Trevor Dimmy. Dimmy's still on his feet. He's at the 40. He's at midfield. You know what I like right there is he brings it down to the 43-yard line. And you'll see good college players and sometimes pros not move the ball to the proper hand when they take the angle and keep it exposed. Dimmy moved it to the left hand as he came back left on a 32-yard return. Good fundamental understanding.
No question. See a little bit of Vaughn Sanders in him, who played for Lawrence High School, then went off to play for Joe Gardy at Hofstra, and now is in Jets camp. Yeah, he wasn't a big guy at Lawrence High School, and, well, Trevor's only 5'7", but he goes a $180. A lot of similarities between those two.
First down coming up now for New York from the 45 of New Jersey. And once again, Caron Henry back in the lineup at the quarterback position, and he's had trouble. Well, the offense has had troubles. It continues to have troubles as Henry is really creamed back behind the line of the scrimmage as he got rid of the football. He may be leaving the game right here. They're going to take him out. He got hit, and he got hit hard. O'Neal Stevens is going to come back into the lineup.
He had a little bit of a hit pointer at practice during the week. Didn't get a lot of reps. And ooh, wow, Justin Hines. Hello, Big East.
Boy, he come in.
If not mistaken, UConn plays Boston College as they move up to Division I. It's either this year or next year. Caron Henry's going to go up there and he's going to try it at quarterback. But I'll tell you, there's some good things coming in the wind. There's a 6'5", 220-pounder at Shelton High School this year. He'll be a senior, Dan Orlovsky, and he's your prototype. He can get back there and he can rip it. So Caron's going to have to learn the position in a hurry.
Second down, and the handoff once again to Quinn Walton. And Walton gets down to about the 43-yard line, just about the original line of scrimmage. And it'll be a third down coming up for New York. We're down to 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go. And on the sidelines, Caron Henry's taking his shirt off and being administered to by the medical crew. Left leg, it looks like. Should just have it up. He had the wind knocked out of him is what he did.
I think a lot of people will if that's coming down at you. Justin Hines, the man-child, 6'4", 235.
So here's Stevens on third down. Throw a little loop, but it goes incomplete. And it'll bring up a fourth down. Andre Fontanet, the intended receiver. He played his high school ball right outside of Rochester, did Fontanet, at a high school called Churchville Chili. Now, how do you spell Chili? Like you spell chili, C-H-I-L-I, but it's pronounced Chili. Churchill Chili, all-county basketball player as well as football player with 11 touchdowns this year.
We cut right to the chase. If New York's going to win this game in future years, the state's gigantic. They got to get a quarterback, your prototype guy who can get back there and can rip it.
And New Jersey's got 3.
Yeah, they have more. A guy like John Rivera, Perth Amboy High School, one of the best I saw this year, going to Central Florida next year. He's not here. Kid Eric Dial, Ridge High School, you know, broke his jaw this year, missed 6 games, comes back, throws about 12 touchdown passes in 3 games. The state is just loaded. The state of New York, they've got to get themselves
you know, like a big-time 6'3" guy gets back there, you know, 200 pounds. He knows the position, throws the position. You know, you're asking Karan Henry for Brooklyn Tech to get back there and throw it. They run and shoot this year. He threw for 500 yards, ran for 700. You know, you have
this
you
half
look at
only 2 of 7 passing in this half for New York. On first down for New Jersey. Another nice gain right there. Number 34, Tyrell Dortch, who had the 98-yard run earlier in the second half. New Jersey now with a 48-7 lead. It's going to be interesting to see just what they do in the final stages of this game, because again, it's an all-star game. Are you rolling it up, or just everybody out here wants big yardage and wants to do positive things? And at this point, I don't find a negative aspect to these kids continuing to try and impress.
Well,
but I think on the coaching sideline, you're going to see a conservatism.
Well, the New Jersey quarterbacks and receivers are probably in a way upset that their last 2 touchdowns have come from the defensive side of the ball, because they probably still want to get back there and throw it. But I think they'll keep it on the ground the rest of the way. You know, a guy like Tyrell Dortch, though, he's probably thinking in the back of his mind, all right, you know, Postel MVP, Dapolito MVP, if I can get one for 50 yards, you know, that's about 140, 50 yards in rushing.
Okay, let's head downstairs to Gene. Gene?
Spencer, Vince McInerney, 36 years as a high school head coach, 25 at Penn Saucon. Well, between the years of 79 and 85, he had 7 former players playing in the NFL at one time between 1979 and 1985. And in the Super Bowl played in 1995, San Francisco versus San Diego, he had 2 players playing against each other. John Taylor, the wide receiver for San Francisco, and David Griggs, who played for San Diego at linebacker. So he's coached some great players in his years as a high school football coach. But I did promise Coach this one thing. He wanted me to wish get well to Ernie Oldenburg, a good friend of his who is in the hospital, who was supposed to be the linebacker coach today. So best wishes out to Ernie Oldenburg. Spencer, back to you.
And the coach gets himself a little bit of a shower. The traditional water brigade hits the coach. And, you know, when you've done what he's done for so long and you're retired, again, old coaches...
Boy, his and Santoli's hair, it looks a lot alike now.
Santoli, the coach's hair, is a gift from God. Santoli's hair is a gift from Clairol.
Wow.
A minute 52 to go, 48-7.
Honor Society kid. You wonder what his parents thought when they came. Like, whoa, what happened to you, Dom? He's a heck of a football player, though. Loves the game. Had a great career.
National Honor Society, as you said. Great wrestler. Bergen Catholic. What a program they have there, year after year after year.
Delaware really getting a steal in him. I thought this was a kid that could play at the 1A level. You know, you talk about in this game, we always compare kids to, you know, pro guys and stuff like that. Fumble on the play, regroup. But he caught a ball. They were playing Don Bosco this year, earlier in the year, who's going to be a sensational football team this year. Greg told Don Bosco's team. He caught a ball. It looked like Mark Bavaro. I mean, he broke about 5-6 tackles, dragging guys. I mean, this guy, he's just a football player. There are some guys that throw on the helmet and shoulder pads who just play the game because they love it. He's one of them.
And he is, of course, Dom Santoli, number 36 on the New Jersey side, who will be playing at the University of Delaware in the fall. As we check the sidelines, Quinn Walton, and there's Santoli.
Tubby Raymond will probably flip out, the longtime Blue Hen coach, when he sees that hair.
I think he's already seen it.
Oh, yeah.
He's already seen him play football with a helmet on. He says, I think I want this kid.
But I'm telling you, the last time I saw Dom was December 4th at Giant Stadium. I don't recall that hair looking like that.
I think you would remember.
And then again, I might be jealous because I just don't have anything left. So, man, you know...
17 seconds to go. Going to be the final play of the game as Wispaway puts the knee down. All New Jersey. They trailed 7-6, and they come back and score the final 42 points of the ball game. And that young man fared well. Wisp away, and of course the coach, Vince McEnany. As Gene told you, some of the great accomplishments this man had at Pennsauken High School. Give the man the football. And it's a great moment. All the coaches and everybody involved in this venture. Vince McEnany, the head coach, Fred Stengel of Bergen Catholic, Larry Ginsburg at Eastern, Jim Mears, Huntington Central, Frank Matone of Providence, Anthony DeBellis, Bergen Catholic, Bobby Weiss, Atlantic City, Bill Theodosidis of Monroe, and Ernie Oldenburg from Eastern for New Jersey. And on the New York side, the head coach of North Rockland High School, Joe Casarella. His offensive coordinators, Tom Lynch from Clarkstown South, and Pete Warner from North Rockland. His defensive coordinator, Art Trollo from Harrison. Assistants, Greg Grasso for North Rockland, Gary Dworkowitz from North Rockland, Jerry Hoppy of Clarkstown South, Dobbsbury's Frank Volanti, Joe Trongone of Clarkstown North, Dan Keeley of North Rockland, Brian Walsh of Brewster, and Tom Isley of Clarkstown South. Every minute, every hour, every day they spent with these kids on a volunteer basis because they love this game and they get such great pride and understanding of hanging out and making these kids better young men. 48-7 is the final score of the ball game as New Jersey has made it a three-peat.
They played in half-empty stadium.
Billie Jean Carroll Miller.
So we could get standing ovations.
Flojo. Martina Navratilova.
They endured catcalls. So we could be superstars.
They were called different. Wilma Rudolph.
So
this would be normal. Chris Evans. Daddy Stokes.
They created a world where we could jump, shoot,
Sing. Shine. Try. Don't blow it.
blow it. Don't blow it.
All New Jersey, they make it 3 in a row. This with a decisive 48-7 victory over the New York All-Stars. Our MVP program, sponsored by Chase Bank and the Downtown Athletic Club. And the MVP award winners, first of all, there's Tyrell Dortch, who wound up in the game with 138 yards, 8 carries, one of them the 98-yard run, which really broke the back of the New York team. So Dortch winds up as the offensive MVP of the game. No doubt who the defensive MVP is. Adam Taliaferro had 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery, forced another fumble, capped it off with the interception for the final touchdown of the game. And the offensive and defensive winners on the New York side, on the left of your screen, Sammy Maldonado, and right next to him, John DeVerne. And a big victory for New Jersey as they win it by a score of 48-7. Let's thank our entire crew, our spotter Pete McAllery, our statistician Steve Tober, for the guys down in the truck representing MSG, Dave Katz, our stage manager, Kyle Corning and Joe Gallagher down in the truck, and for all the crew at MSG, for Mike Quick and for Gene Golda, Spencer Ross saying so long from West Point. The Governor's Cup belongs for New Jersey for a 3rd year in a row by a final score of 48-7.